But Cho being banned out, I believe that SRG will be looking towards the ban of the Kalia as it is. It is actually still open.
Yeah. Yep. That's a Selena. We haven't seen her banned or picked in a while.
Who said there are no shortcuts?
So that's the chip. Alright, smart. Because we saw Alter Ego actually pick up that chip. It's the Alice. Alright. So SRG gonna be looking for their maybe last pick their Stormy Hero. Just get the Lunox maybe?
Yeah. Put that in the mid. Yeah, straight up. I mean, in the center of the map when you're going up against all the pokes of Eve, the self-sustain is going to help you out greatly, and you can punish aggression if ever you get to Darkening and Chaos Assault out. How would you feel if they suddenly sort of pick up a Zetian for Stormy?
Maybe last pick if that is the case. Then in that scenario, they would want to get the CC first.
Wow.
For Crab.
We don't know actually if this faction is a jungler. Now we can confirm it's a jungler.
Oh, it's a jungler.
Yeah. I was just about to say, because not a single time in M7 has Silango Giants played utility jungle. Not once.
Not once. Alright, so I think without the Esmeralda, you need a little bit of strength here from Alter Ego, but you already have picked up your Freya as well as your Eve. Might not get that from the XP. Maybe just a Yu Zhong. It is actually available. Maybe a Yu Zhong for Nino, and then would want to look for another source of stun to actually activate this Freya.
Yeah.
Kalia is still open, so I think Kalia Yu Zhong will be to the next.
Right. With the EXP,
they go back.
Whoa, what is the roll? That is
roll glue.
Roll Patrick.
Okay, Alec, ever growing his hero pool. What number is that now?
And SRG, God, these were different meta. Angela will be the last pick where SRG. Look at how many good vessels there are for the Angela.
Nice one, baby.
Yeah,
nice one, baby. But that is very unlikely in this scenario.
That's unique. That's a unique pick for Alec right there.
10th unique pickup now for the M7 World Championship, and I think SRG might not have expected this. The big swerve, the roam glue. It's even more so worrying now for the guys to make this Blacksha jungle work.
Yeah, you're left with Kimmy. I really don't like SRG's lineup.
It's a weird damage profile.
It's scattered.
It's scattered. It's like a ragdoll.
It's a damage profile that AE are comfortable going into.
I have to vote for it, Alter Ego, especially after seeing them with this lineup. It's so difficult to go up against this five man that they have built.
Yeah. Leo, Alter Ego also?
Yeah, especially with El Padre on that CC. He's hot with it.
Well, Silango Red Giants gave 3 crucial heroes to Alter Ego. Heroes integral to the destruction of the Golden Road. Unless SRG suddenly whip out some next level MLBB gameplay, then they might just be falling in this very first game. Malaysia versus Indonesia. SRG versus Alter Ego.
Here we go. Alter Ego just took down a Titan, and now next in sight are the Giants here. Welcome everyone to this Best of 5 spot to the grand finals to face off. Rora from the Philippines is on the line, and it starts here. Bring it up. How are we feeling? I mean, did you get some time to recalibrate after the last match, and now we jump into this one? Whoa, man.
Okay, I thought we'd be seeing another first blood in less than a minute, but I'm first of all glad to see Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm glad to cast Patrick,
Everyone loves
but I'm
it.
very surprised to see it in Rome. And I guess this goes to show how deep Alter Ego and their pockets are in terms of bringing out these picks or these drafts. But then, overall, I just feel like momentum is definitely on their side. This is a draft that will enable them to keep fighting as much as they want. But SRG, just the same, since they have this very tanky lineup, they just have to find the right targets to go for. And I feel like that's why we're seeing these fast rotations come in. But so far, Alter Ego are just quick to reposition.
And Arfie's been playing this matchup all day long. Freya up against Claude, and he seems to always do well on it. And even Nino getting bullied up top a little bit. Yep. Doesn't feel too bad, because last game saw him behind 2 deaths and still carried.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out too, just because, again, like the panel mentioned, there's basically 3 very comfort picks that we just saw from the last series with Alter Ego. Again, I just feel like I've only seen basically that in the gold lane. It's typically Arfi putting pressure on the Claude as he should, and we know that how that scaling can go here for them. But even so, to see this Leo more into the hands of Yosuke, where he had to go ahead and deal with it from Carl Teasy in the previous one, you know that they want to go ahead and start things strong. And even for Nino on the CC, I think that was such a big part of that Game 5 in the last series here. So, yeah, if I had to say anything, momentum-wise, Alter Ego Esports should have this with this kind of draft too. I mean, but SRG is going to go claim the turtle.
Nice level 4
Nice,
over
nice,
to Graham just in time. A big
sorry.
Brave Spider comes down. Yasuke on the steed. Looking for
Okay,
Yumes now.
okay,
Yumes brought down low.
Yumes the big go.
Blood. So a turtle for a kill. How we feel about that trade?
It feels as if it's still somewhat in favor of Alter Ego, because from the get-go, it didn't seem like they wanted the turtle anyway. They were just standing in the EXP lane. They had their eyes set on Cram. It seems like Cram was the initial target. It just so happened that Yumes was there. He was the more accessible one for them at the moment as SRG transitioned towards potentially considering that fight after the objective. So I feel like this is Alter Ego and their game plan all along, but RP?
Nice gank onto RP.
यताबाट किल खायो है हाम्रो एसआरजी ग्लु पाएको रहेछ नि ग्लुले किमीलाई च्याप्दियो लियो मोडले किल पायो है किमीलाई ग्लु हेर न प्याट्रिक कस्तो खुसी हो लभली लभली युम्सले च्याप्दियो है युम्स लभली युम्सलाई समात्यो हो प्याट्रिकले
Alright, RP for the battle. Alter Ego decides to back off. It's 2-2.
Okay, that shows us that yes, they want to go ahead and shut down RP from scaling up the way we saw him do previously. They can play there in the gold lane, but then they also have to answer. They're still going to stay down here. Now, one of the big things that they can play around for Alter Ego Esports, like we just saw, was that combination of having the manipulation in your favor, and then you kind of just let it go and let loose with Phantom Steed and everything else. But there's good response from SRG's lineup. They're capable of fighting back if they want to.
Yumes like Chef Yumes Hilda.
Won't be able to get away from this one.
Leo Mord,
With another kill into his pocket.
Alter Ego
Add that on with the Lorax. He's 3-1-0. Looking good.
Yeah.
For him.
I was supposed to say, Alter Ego so far have found ways to really deal with Stormy. I think so far, considering the damage profile right now, it's really Stormy who wants to go after at that moment. But now it's even Yumes who seems like a really easy target. I'm like, wait.
Alex's taking a lot of damage
YG
there.
पनि छैन लिनु भयो ओए दामी दामी है अल्टर इगोको दुईटा टोटल है सिकिसले दुईटा टोटल खाएको छ सिकाइस हो भन्नु छ त सिकिस क्र्याम लभली लपु लपु के भने आम्मा यो अल्टर इगो त लभली है
They just really want to keep fighting. That was Alec also burning the flicker just to force that dive under the tier 2. Making sure that Yazuki has company as he goes in for the dive.
There's I don't know, it's like a hidden passive about the SpongeBob and Patrick skin. Like, you just want to fight them. There's something about it, man. And that's what happened. Alec was taking all that damage, and it started up that fight that was chosen by SRG. So, you know, amidst it all, some kills obviously went over to Alter Ego, and they had a good fight there, but SRG still maintains the lead. They do have still some
Salangur Red Giants मलेसियाको है दुईटै लभली टिमहरु है दुईटैले TLPS ले हराएको हो है
safe for this. Cram moving on to Hijime. Yumes there as well. Alec looking to join the fray.
YG like सेतिरहेछ YG गयो इनोसेन्टले मार्दै लौडेले हानिदिएको छ YG लाई ब्लूले कसलाई च्याप्यो युम्सलाई च्यापिरहेछ युम्स हिल्दा ल तर उल्टै लभली उल्टै ब्लूलाई च्याप्दै ल ओइ हिल्दा युम्स गयो ए त याजुकी यो मोडले हान्दियो
And Nino gets away safely.
Oh my, that was a well-timed entry from Innocent. You saw it. Arfi was nowhere to be found during that instant, so there definitely was an advantage towards SRG. But Yasuki, though, the reason that him getting his ultimate for the second time around is still finding something out of that. It's still a really good stat line we're seeing, and he's still ahead of Sakai.
ओइ होइन होला याजुकीले भेट्छ होला अब ओइ होइन ओइ त्यो आरपी कस्तो खतरा आइदिएको लभली यार दामी ओइ उल्टै सेक्दियो
is on the run. Cram.
Cram आएर याजुकीले च्याप्दियो है लप क्राम को लप पनि दामी छ है क्रामले च्याप्ला छ क्राम गयो ल ओइ निनोको सिसी ओइ इनोसेन्ट आयो है लौडे
The vengeance able to respond back, and we are back down.
Alter Ego wants to fight the Giants, and the Giants will always fight back. Again, all this for the buff pressure in the jungle is what's happening here. Third turtle is up. We'll see if SRG secures this one again. But man, you gotta give it up to Alter Ego. The way they like to fight on the map early on, it doesn't matter. They'll take those fights.
And they may have stayed a bit too long there, though, because they were able to take away the objective or the buff from Sekais, but Sekais was able to get it. And now it's just two Marksmen who keep fighting.
लपु रे हिल्दै जान लाग्यो भने तर ओइ त्यसले याजुकीले खाइदियो निनोले क्रामलाई है ल युन्सको क्राम लो नै थियो खायो नाइस ठिक छ लभली तीनजना खाइदियो हो उता उल्टो बिगोको तिनीहरूले चारजना प्याट्रिकलाई हान्न आइदिएन कोही ओइ त प्याट्रिकले गिद्दी गर्यो भने हेलो उता आम्मामा त्यो निनो आएको सिसी निनोको सिसी नि राम्रो छ यार क्या मिठो खेल्छ यार त्यसले
What is going on?
That's the Curtis
के भइरहेछ यहाँ हेलो
He couldn't reach it. He went for the chase, but
he was tied up.
He was tied up.
Tied up by the yo-yo, man. I mean, hey, that's about as good as it will get in those engages. But man, Alter Ego Esports, you know, looking at the items too, falling into place here.
Yeah,
you've got to go with some defense, and that's why you got those brute forces built in.
Yeah.
Hino has to help Yosuke, especially when they decide to go into these fights again, fighting around the real world manipulation. It does help them kind of lock down the control. But so far, notice how SRG is taking these fights. They also have pretty good defensiveness now too, with the couple chastised pauldrons they have, plus the Dom Ice on Yubes. He picks up his own, so they are going into these fights ready to just kind of brawl it out defensively.
glue प्याट्रिकको स्किन छ के दाइ हेर्नु न कस्तो गिदी गर्छ त्यो अनि त्यसको मुभमेन्ट हेर्नु न यस्तो खुसी भएर दौडिन्छ नि त्यो
seems to be performing much better on the Claude. These early decisions to join the fights.
प्याट्रिक पुरा भेट भयो देखाउँछ होला प्याट्रिकलाई माथि छ प्याट्रिक खुसी भएर दौडिरहेछ त्यहाँ
means so much about how Innocent was able to handle the laning phase.
Well, not only that, but Singular Giants
यसपालि SpongeBobसँग कोल्याब हो नि त दाइ अनि SpongeBobको कोल्याब हो के यसमा हैन
Innocent had a good experience. You know where that is?
लड आयो है अब अब्बको फाइट पनि डेन्जर पर्छ है सेलाङ्गोरले तिनटै टटल खाएको छ है लग्नु पारेले
a better chance here. Innocent's
अब
going
लडमा
to do his thing,
पर्छ
but we also got to allow him to do his thing. And so that one
डेन्जर फाइट
or
पर्छ यहाँ
two
अब
times they went down and kind of focused on that to get that
गोल
kill or
डिफरेन्स
at
धेरै
least
पनि
stop
छैन है जम्मा एसआरजीको सिरिङ 1596 भयो फेरि
bring them to this point. Now they've got control around this first lord here. Alter Ego though, trying to get a position for this unless they go for Arfi. Okay.
He's just gonna get pushed back.
छिर्यो क्राम सिसी छिर्यो है सिसी र लौडे छिरेको छ हिल्दा पछि ओए जानी हिबलाई खाइदियो के लभली
He just wants to get away free. SRG now looking. Arfi gonna back off. They just want the Lord. Will AE give it to him?
Arfi was the real target.
यार
When they saw Arfi and when they felt that SRG might actually go for him, the other members were forced to reveal themselves, and unknowingly, Cram was there, ready to jump on the and that was the perfect cue for Innocent to do it at the right moment as well. There was no way Hijume could have gotten out of that, not without the flicker, and now Alter Ego couldn't even contest. But wait.
Big Valkyrie.
कस्तो छिर्यो भने त्यो फ्रे अम्ममा डर लाग्दैन त्यसलाई ल मार्दियो त्यसले तिमीलाई माथि हो नि त ब्याकलेनलाई मुजी
Arfi's still going strong. Yasuke the
हिबले गिदी गर्यो लभली उता सिसी आएर हान्दियो निनो अनि दुईजना सेट एसआरजीको लड सर्ट मतलब छैन यिनीहरूलाई लड त मुझे मिडमै ल बस
such a brutal way to deal with Cram, who you saw for how many times in a row now was just able to easily get access to Hijume. But during that moment, where it wasn't such a reactive real-world manipulation that you get to see from Hijume, who was being well guarded by the other members of Alter Ego. Surprisingly, they have ways, they have damage to already deal with this guy, and that is something you could also expect from them in the upcoming team fight so long as they're able to set up. But Sakai's
Nice dodges.
Patrick यार Patrick गयो lovely
Rabiel does come out, but he decides to disengage.
Innocent को लोडे दामी छ जस्तो यार फाइट अम्मा 5 किल छ हो 5 असिस्ट 0 डेथ
SRG, and then Alec decided to go and engage. He gets zoned out from his team. Nothing too bad though, because again, that one kill doesn't really change the course of the game. They're at this point
गोल ग्यापै छैन भने पाले पिलो यताबाट उता सरेछ उ 59 यता छ 158 भयो यता अलरेडी गएको अब चाहिँ 66 घट्दै छ उता बढ्यो 234 फेरि के गोलको त लिडै त्यस्तो धेरै छैन हो यिनीहरुको अनि किल पनि 13 ले भने
again. Once we get to some of those defensive items coming into place, that's where you'll see a little more finesse that's needed for the team to have that upper hand. And seals also are going to be a big part of this.
And it's also going to be a flying clouds thing, where they just constantly find themselves back wherever the team fight was last seen, and they just constantly find ways to score again, which I think has been working really well so far for both of these teams, because it's just really a matter of timing and who gets to force out a fight at the better moment, especially considering now that we're approaching the more important objectives and the goal is
क्रेमले अल्टर इगोको नै त्यो के इमोट देखाइरा छ अल्टर इगोको इमोट
less than 1k. I guess the most significant you could really look at is how Yazuki is already 2k up ahead of Sekai's, but that's a utility we're talking about.
के होला त
Brave Spider comes in, shows up as well, able to dash away, and this is, I mean, Alter Ego continuously just testing the waters here.
They were basically like, you know what, Lord's coming out,
गेम त दाइ अझै छ
let's
यार
not lose anybody in this.
यो भक्खर स्टार्ट बेस्ट अफ 5 हो बेस्ट अफ 5 हो अनि जो जित्छ त्यो फाइनलमा
he's built up. He might be down 1,000 gold against Innocent, but he's really focusing on trying to catch Stormy. I'm not sure if they're going to get here in time, though. Lord goes for a bit of a reset, but they go.
Oh, यो के लर्ड फाइट भने
The backside plays into it, connects onto nobody.
सीसी क्राम फसिरा छ सीसी ओइ सीसी फस्यो त्यहाँ ए सीसी होइन त्यो हाम्रो त लप्पु म पनि ठीक भइरा निनो सोचिरा के काइसे च्यापी प्याट्रिकले निनोले हान्यो इनोसेन्ट
Okay, Yasuke, another Phantom Steeds trying to chase, but
लोडे नि हाम्रो हिल्ला मात्र बाँकी अब यिनीहरु लर्ड त इजी खान्छ होला हो
They can't contest this. That was a hard fought for the Lord here.
लर्ड त खायो अल्टर इगोले खायो लर्ड
you would have thought Crab was in such a perfect position already to start a fight, but
तिनजनाको बिल्ड एकैचोटी आयो
once it all broke out, he couldn't find his target. He just wanted to go for Hijume at that moment, but Hijume was able to reposition, get under tier 2. And now Crab finds himself in the middle of 4 members of Alter Ego who he couldn't really just fight against all alone.
You know, we keep saying Innocent is doing great. He's 5-0-5. But it's so hard to find multiple members with that blazing duet because Alter Ego has such a split up composition.
Yeah.
And everyone has dashes, everyone has kites. Unless you hit Alec, who's going to stun you. And they're able to all kind of hold their own, essentially. If they want to go 1v2 somewhere, they can. And at least nobody goes down. So what we saw in the last fight, Innocent Blaze Duet just connects to nobody.
Yeah.
Again, Arfi is doing a great job at trying to go for Stormy, and then the team SRG kind of has to deal with that and help Stormy heal. And that's why Cram ended up dying, because he was separated from the team. So that is going to continue to happen in team fights. Where you see that pressure towards that back line here. Lord charges in.
Cram in the backside with Brave Spider.
बक्सियाले समात्यो ग्लुले ग्लुले तानिरहेछ ओए किमीले ग्लुले हान्दियो ग्लुले
And now it's a 3v3. SRG defend the towers.
Wow. Innocent.
Tinta beast tower मात्र बाकी बनाइदियो यार SRG को एकैचोटी.
From going down, but able to capitalize a kill. That was enough to keep them in the game. But man, Arfi is a menace on this Freya. He might have had a hard time in the early game, but they're looking to take a base turret here.
Yeah, did use the Valkyrie descent to get out though. Now he uses it
Gare
to dash
तलको
forward.
खाइदियो आर्कले खाइदिएछ ओइ याजुकी कस्तो छिर्या भने लिमोड आफी फ्रेया ओइ फ्रेयालाई डर लाग्दैन भने आम्मामामा तर सकेन यस सकेन फ्रेया त पनि नडराउने भने ल भगवान हो क्या त्यो त मा भगवान त भगवानै हो फ्रेया हैन नर्तनको
But he goes down. Ultimately, there's some damage on the turrets of the base of SRG. They lose the bottom turret, but still, nonetheless, they keep things mostly intact. 2 base turrets still up. Some key defensive items being picked up as well. Now you've got the immortality in the hands of Yumes. And yes, like you mentioned, Trex, one of the hard things about this is Innocent getting value out of the Blazing Duet. He does just pick up the
gold gap
now, so he's got that rose
gold gap
and a win in
already
nature for
2000
defense. Yeah, that's the hard thing, is actually getting use of the damage profile they have. And that's why the panel mentioned this, that the damage profile of it and making it work is a little finicky, and you just got to be able to pull that off.
So maybe that's why RFE really wanted to force that, because he knew, I guess, 2 things. He was going full build and Winter Crown or Wind of Nature for Innocent. So he really wanted to force that first kill, but grab.
Push the fight, a nice grab.
कस्तो माथि चढ्या हो लप माथि नै चढ्या रहेछ यार
Alter Ego might want to disengage on this one, not try to take the full fight. They're all down to about half health.
लडायो
Yeah, it's gonna be enough time for them though to just reset and prep for them coming on. They'll be making sure that they take care of the waves though. Fortunately for them, one base turret's already down for SRG.
Yeah, they can work this. Lord is up.
फ्रेया र ब्लूले थामिरहेछ
It will evolve shortly.
पछाडिबाट
Again,
सिसीले
Flying
हानिहाल्छ
Clouds,
हैन
traditionally one of the maps, if not the longest play time right now throughout
बाक्सिया छ
M7
लपुलपु छ
is
हिल्दा छ
Flying
हैन
Clouds. So they'll start this up, half
ल
health of
पर्यो
Lord.
सुरु भयो सुरु भयो बाक्सियाले च्यापिरहेछ ओइ बाक्सिया जान लाग्यो भने सिकाइस ओइ हाइपर जान लाग्यो हाइपर गयो सिकाइस
Sakai's falls. Cram gonna be the next.
लो क्र्याम लपु धरि गयो सिद्धियो युनुस लौडेले सक्छ त सकेन एकजना मात्र बाँकी स्टोमी मात्र बाँकी यार किमी मात्र बाँकी सिधाइदियो भने लड्छ मतलब छैन माधुरी
Still getting his hands on the frame.
छिर्किन्छ हो त्यो त प्याट्रिकले कसरी समात्छ होला त्यसलाई
Alter Ego break through the base.
सिद्धियो
It's not gonna be enough to
सिद्धियो
stop from here.
विनिङ मोमेन्ट
For a few more minions. Couple more
हेलो
hits, and
अल्टर इगो माधुरी
Game number 1.
यो अल्टर इगोकोमा अघि टिएलसँग खेलेर पनि प्र्याक्टिस भयो है डेन्जर
For this series,
सिद्धिहाल्छ
smiles on their
सँगीहरूले मलाई
face, and my
लड
goodness,
फाइट यिनीहरूको हुन्छ कि माधुरी डेन्जर फर्स्टमा सिकाइसले खाइदियो हाइपरलाई है
Because RP, imagine,
अनि अझ
there was
लपु
so much
गइहाल्यो
focus
त्यसपछि
on
त
him from SRG in the
गाह्रै
early
पर्छ
portion of the
है
game. They kind of shut him down, but then boom, he comes back
त्यसैन केही छैन
and locks in
अझै
and
गेम
just is a menace in the back line. I mean, Sakai,
केटाहरू
it didn't matter who. The Valkyrie was just tearing him apart.
This Innocent on this Claude was able to match that Freya, at least for the laning phase, at least for a couple of team fights which we saw in the
अल्टर
early
इगोले
stages
त
of
यो
the
पनि
game.
यो राउन्ड पनि
Played it
जित्यो भने त यार
really well for a
खतरा
match
हो
that
नि
you
यार
would consider to be
दुई
favoring
राउन्ड
the Freya,
हानेको आज
but
टिएलसँग नि खेलेर
that
अहिले
wasn't enough to save
एसआरजीसँग
them in this game where RP just kept dumping in and forcing the fights in the backlines. No, I don't even think that was the backline. That was Sakai's he tried to hunt down in that last fight.
Yeah, he went for Sakai's. He went for
युम्सलाई छुट्टै
Cram.
हानिरहेको छ सिकाइसले यता छुट्टै
RP
हान्यो
didn't
है
care about Innocent anymore. He's like, I'm not going to catch Innocent. So he
Innocent,
adjusted, especially around mid-game. He's like, I'm going to go for Stormy. I'm going to go for Skies. I don't care. As long as I'm able to get a resource out or potentially a kill. And eventually, he scaled up so
भन्दै
much
हान्यो तिनीहरूले
that he was just shredding through anybody he picked. So, again, an amazing game there, game 1 in the series. Let's throw it over to the panel to talk about game 1.
नाइस जिजुई
22 kills in the first 8 minutes of the game. I wish there was a group of people who suggested that the Freya and the Leomord probably shouldn't have
क्यामेरा
been
पछि
given
पछि गइरहेछ
an
भने
alter
हाँसेको
ego,
होला
right? Who that?
I wonder, I wonder. Because we already saw in the first series today that was it's definitely a problem, but they still give it, and
yes,
now
guys.
you see the result. You
Glue
can't spell
भन्ने
Freya
हिरो चाहिँ
without Arfi.
ग्लु भन्ने हिरोमा चाहिँ
That
प्याट्रिकको
is
स्किन हो के
actually
दाइ
so true. It's
प्याट्रिकले
built
खत्रै
into
हान्यो
the
है यो
name of
गेम
the
तर
hero. Arfi, Freya, it's
क्याप दिने के
there.
टाउकोमाथि
So why do we
चढेर
keep
दाइ
giving
होइन
it?
कन्ट्रोल
Let's
हानिदिन्छ कि
look first
त्यसले
at the laning. We mentioned the
That is
Sagai and Innocent needed to be on demon time here.
अनि प्याट्रिक
Innocent
त्यही
was on
प्याट्रिक
demon
टाउकोमा
time.
हुँदाखेरि
He
फेरि
handled
अब
Arfi in
आफ्नै
lane so
टिमले
well.
हान्यो भने
And
पनि आफ्नै
SRG
हेल्थ जान्छ
handled
के
Arfi.
जसको
But
टाउकोमाथि
it's
छ
not
होइन
the laning phase for Alter
गिद्दी
Ego,
हिरो
as
के
we've
त्यो
already
गिद्दी हिरो
seen. Once they hit their power spikes, they have such a great understanding of the limits and strengths of each hero in their favorite hero pool that they will make it work every time.
All the more excellent is their target acquisition multiple times in this fight, especially with the draft that both teams ended up with. Especially with a marksman like Claude, who is technically not a backline, front-to-back kind of marksman. He will be everywhere, right, in the team fight.
हाइलाइट
Alter
हेरिदिनु
Ego,
त अब हाइलाइट
6
आउँछ
games in a
है
row now, counting earlier today's series. They are so good at finding the right targets that about 95% of the time they will win in long, drawn-out fights. It doesn't help that their heroes are so good at picking out ults and then waiting. All right, save for the Eve. The Eve is a really long cooldown. Everyone else is like, okay, I'm ready. I can do that again. Each player, specifically Arfi, who is my personal vote as the MVP, is like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah,
Arfi
especially the
Freya.
last sessions which they actually won.
Freya
He
त
jumped
कस्तो नडराइ खेलेको थियो त अनि त्यहाँ
into Innocent for
मतलब छैन हो डरै नलाग्ने हो यसलाई त त्यहाँ आरसी कसले खायो त एमभीपी कसले खायो त एमभीपी आरसी
MVP, but
आरसीले नै खायो है
the
MVP
feeling
lovely
that he was able to give for his teammates,
Lovely
because I
say,
think that the
lovely.
MO for for SRG was to get into where Hijome was. And to be fair, I think that the air were able to catch Hijome so many times, but the defense, because of Arfi as
Full
well
item build
as
हो नि लास्टमा
Nino on
एउटा
the
मात्र
CC
त्यो
was so good for Alter Ego.
ब्रुट
I
फोर्स
honestly see a world where SRG won game one because of just their wanton shutdown of Hijime. I felt so painful watching that Eve just not be able to RWM. Like, I think half of the fights here, he did not get to use the RWM properly. But eventually, as Wolf mentioned, how scary is it to have both a shredding damage dealer in the front line plus a peeler in the gold lane?
Yeah.
Beauty of the lineup of Alter Ego is the extended fights. Perfect for Flying Cloud. They have heroes here that, yes, you would consider them more to be ultimate dependent, but then Yasuke will just have to wait for it. Nino's timing on the curtain wall.
कसले सिरियसली हान्यो कि यिनीहरूले सिकिसो देखेको छ देखेको छ अनि
Nino continues to impress us and win us over to become alternate champ in our own right. But Arfi, the thing about him is, even if he doesn't Valkyrie descent, he just like facing attack, and he hurts. But then when the Valkyrie descent comes in, that's when it becomes even more of a
युम्सले त
problem.
देखाउनै पाएन
And to what
खासै
Nino was able to achieve is it is so many times that his discipline with the vengeance is so good. He does not pop it without Innocent, being a threat. Like, he's always reserving that for a specific purpose. And because of that, it's so difficult for Innocent. Look at this. Eventually, when Innocent tried to go for that way onto the CC, they have found it and that's it by the wake up from RP. It's difficult for Innocent to position himself. And when they let go of the real world manipulation, they go on him afterwards. It's like almost they are almost programmed to react to Innocent. It's like they already know what Innocent is about to do. They're waiting for Innocent to jump, and once that happens, they are so prepared.
That was the fight that made me go, wow. It's like they were all speaking, but we're also connected telepathically to know each other's next moves.
They know their timings.
बिल्डहरु हेरौँ है गाइज बिल्डहरु पनि देखाउँछ एम्ब्लेमहरु पनि देखाउँछ तर गेम प्ले चाहिँ फरकै हुन्छ है
CC that packs more damage than it does sustain. Gone are the days where CC will just go for maybe a War Axe and then the rest of defensive. No, you can just go for the offense. War Axe, Hunger Strike, Malefic Roar. Even his choice of defensive item in the Brute Force Breastplate is the most offensive-minded defensive item that we have.
You can even argue that the Winter Crown has some of the damage.
लास्ट दामी खेल्यो यार के हो भने यस्तो पागल खेल्छ भने यिनीहरू
It does.
एसआरजीलाई यस्तो कुटेको हुनु त टिएलपिएस पनि कुटेकै हो है धुस्नो कुट्यो यार
Right now, Professor X have built this. This is the strategy. Leomord and the Freya.
ल गाइजहरु है म एकछिनमा आउँछु है एक फ्रेस भएर आउँछु भर्खर घर आएको थिएँ है
stages now.
फ्रेस नभइकन आएर ठ्याक्क वाच पार्टी है गाइज लाइक हान्नु न यार लाइक हान्नु म Hello.
Has to stop it.
Like
Freya
Hanumdo.
needs to be banned. I feel like if SRG still wants to win the series.
म चाहिँ आइहालेँ है गाइजहरू बस्दै गरौँ है म 5 मिनटमा आइहालेँ 10 मिनट कुर्दै गरौँ
New problem to find solutions to. If you ban out the Freya, something's gotta give. You're gonna have to consider what else AE is back in, and it's not like Arfie's useless if he ends up with a Granger or a Clint. He has so many heroes to look at that the Freya is just a comfort.
But Freya also kind of beats it down in the draft, right? Because you have just so much. I think the presence of this hero also forces SRG to go for a utility jungler so that they can actually help out Innocent. Whereas I think it's just evident that SRG needs to accept that they also cannot play the utility jungler as of now. Until we see such a good utility jungler in a very good composition, maybe that's when we can say that it is possible. But as it stands right now, it's clear that they cannot fight fighter versus utility. They have to use assassin versus fighter or fighter versus fighter in the jungle role.
Yeah, which is why we were also a little bit underwhelmed by the Baksha pickup, alongside then the Kimi popping up. Well, once that glue was locked in, it's like, yeah, they're not going to have enough damage. To their credit, 4-3 and 9 for Stormy, impressive. And they were able to match SRG, or excuse me, Alter Ego for the kills, and even take away objectives. They were leading the aggression from time to time, but they just could not get that big win. The big win was easier for Alter Ego to pull off. SRG had to do so many things just to win one team fight.
Just to rewind back about 2 steps, Wolf is right. The whole jungle matchup has to be looked at with a magnifying glass, just enhanced about 10 times, because in the last 10 games, Sekai's only played 2 heroes, Yisun Shin and Leo Mord. I don't know, if you're playing Alter Ego, if you're playing against them in the shape that they're in now, I'm not so sure you have any room to play Yisun Shin, and you have to consider where that Leo Mord goes.
Well, as always, we encourage you, for every M7 World Championship, listen to the panels. We have some pretty good things to say, you know? And if you can't, like, always listen to a panel, then sometimes having a strategic coach in your pocket is all the best thing that you can do. So we're going to say thank you to some friends, starting first off, of course, with Realme. You can check out all of their AI insights into Realme 15 Pro, win rate predictions, analysis of gold, items, everything in real time. It's like having a strat coach in your pocket. That's the AI gaming coach feature, but there's also the consecutive skills features. Like you can the macro key combos, preset them in just one tap. It guides your strategy, elevates your execution with a full AI powered edge. From prediction to performance, the complete package. You play, we carry. Realme 15 Pro, the M7 official gaming phone. And of course, one of our favorite friends here, of course, is V-Chan. We all know about V. V is just great. We can take this moment to just share what has V done for you in your life in the small amount of time that we have learned of V. Oh wow, his voice changes every time.
V10.
Yeah, so what has V done for you, Wolf?
Yeah, sometimes he, transforms into a cloud, which I really like. Because he floats around everywhere, bringing Visa's vision of being everywhere you want to be with his play for ENG. V is here at M7 to experience the world of gaming and esports alongside all the amazing MLBB fans. Here to cheer on every team, whether they're winning or losing or they're drafting Freya. And remember, with Visa, stay fast, stay secure. Be the champion you want to be. Be the real MVP.
Yeah, we get it, V. Yeah, you always make that joke, and we love you for it. So you're just going to be right here. Of course, we saw that interview in the first series of the day between, it was featuring MRO participants here in Indonesia. That's the MLBB Rising Open. So Season 5 is back. It's still open to everyone and flexible to join. Now there's major upgrades. You can earn hero power from victories based on your weekly champion rank and team up with friends to form a 5-player team to compete. Rewards are stacked. Win or lose, you can earn MRO coins to redeem permanent skins, exclusive avatar borders, and more. Climb the weekly championships to qualify for the championship with bigger prizes and keep the M7 passion alive. And the passion is living and going here. SRG and AE. I think unanimous across the board. We are all in agreement for SRG. Let's just not give that Freya Lameward even.
I wish it wasn't so simple. That's what's scary. Is deceptively the solution is just ban the Freya, then all fine and dandy. We can go to the grand finals. It's not that simple, but it's a start.
It's a step.
It's a step.
It's a step in the right direction. It allows you to see that if the Freya is banned out, then what else do they have? Then how can we adjust to that, right? The little continuous growth of this series is what SRG wants to go for, as Alter Ego are still riding the high of their victory earlier today by taking game number 1. But outside tennis indoor is actually a great carnival that we have. So, hey, for more information on that, you should go ahead and watch this. We're going to talk a little bit more behind the scenes.
Hi, it's Monica Ko here, and right now I'm in the M7 Carnival, and it's very fun here. And as you can see behind me, there's a big giant screen there, and we can have a watch party together here. And not only that, but there's a lot of activities here that you can do, and there's a lot of booths with activities, fun activities and challenges. So what are the challenges and what are the activities? So come join me. And right now I'm in the Visa's booth, and something caught my attention because you can see behind me there's a long queue here for an activity here. So let us join the activity. Halo kakak, can I join this? Boleh dicoba gamenya? Boleh ya? Langsung nih, gimana nih caranya? Langsung swipe. Wow, okay. So I can see myself on screen. So let's try how fun this could be. Ready? Okay. Oh. So I need to copy the Visa logo. It's very fun, yet it's very challenging. So this is only one of the activities in this Visa booth. And as you can see, all around this booth, there are still a lot of activities that you can join and you can try. And beside the Visa booth, there are also a lot of sponsors booth that you can visit here. There's also a food and beverages booth. Let's have fun here.
Hey, don't forget, the M7 Carnival is just right there. You can join in tomorrow for Grand Finals Day. They have a lot of things you can do, activities. Of course, the merch booths are also there. So why not, right? Before you join in the M7 action in the arena, join the carnival.
I gotta go. There is Yuzhong, Dan, Nana, Besar. I gotta see them.
I mean, accurate, yes. They are very large.
Besar Banget.
Besar Banget, indeed.
Aisu was very excited about that. Tell us what Aisu. Alright?
Oh.
Yeah.
Man is locked in right now.
Man is locked in.
Man is ready to gas.
Alright.
Or post more thirst traps. Okay, so for both SRG game number 2, beyond, instead of sounding like a broken record of to say ban Freya, ban Leomord, what else can they do in the draft? I think we have to begin with the draft here.
They have to. I think they have
Hello.
to really focus on the jungler. Although the Baksha is good, if you block out the logos of the previous draft, you would think that the first three picks are equal. The Baksha really works against this kind of composition from Alter Ego, but it seems like the master is not there yet. In the lower bracket finals, where every single thing matters, every single second. You saw in the previous series that if you just make one mistake, it can easily be magnified by your opponent. So I feel like that is one thing that SRG needs to fix.
Okay, so will they fix it as we head into the draft for game number 2? Action-packed for the first 8 minutes until eventually ran away from the hands of SRG. We now enter Broken Walls and SRG goes blue side.
This is a good start. By going blue, again, you up your win rate by a large fraction. And you also get to dictate what's allowed in that first pick swing, which in the first game was Freya.
Among the planes
and it looks like Alter Ego will let that through. They know. So they're saying, hey, Innocent, are you willing to go first pick Freya?
Yeah, that's tricky. You can also go for the first pick Leopard, but then Alter Ego will just go for Freya. So with it, it's like no matter what happens, there will be a trade. If SRG goes for the Freya first pick, I think Alter Ego will just choose to go for maybe just the Leopard and then the Hilda eventually. Because what we do know is that if you draft the Freya, you will go for an assassin jungler, and Hilda eventually becomes. The value of Hilda becomes really high. I think that the best option is to pick the Leopard actually.
खै त को छ सबजना गायब त आमन भाइ खै रिप्लाई आमन भाइ गुम हो
The first time we'll see Cram on this.
एउटा मेसेज गरेर गायब भइदिनु भाइ
All the Sora games for SRG.
मेरो साइज सबले माया छ है
We might not have seen.
साइलेन्ट भ्युअरहरुलाई नि धेरै धेरै माया छ है
Oh!
Sora has never been in the hands of Cram.
Not even hiding anything. It's Kimi Valentina. Well, this could be XP Valentina. This could be Gold Valentina.
Yeah. You really just have to adjust.
Depending on where they feel the Sora will go, which again, most likely, in the hands of an innocent.
SRG must get the Hilda now. I feel like Izuchin and Hilda could be a good opening here for SRG. Maybe a Hayabusa along the way,
के
but
भएछ हेरौँ त ब्यान्ड ओए
also
झुक्सिन
the threat of the
दुईटा
Leopard is
मेच
also
ब्यान्ड है
fine. So I
यताबाट
think it's
सिधै
either
अल्टर इगोले झुक्सिन फर्स्ट ब्यान हानेर
Leopard
कहिले
plus the
ब्यान
Hilda
हान्यो
or
अनि
Izuchin
यता
Hilda.
सलङ्गो रेड जायन्ट्सले प्यानिक ड्रप क्लिप
But they get the Hilda.
लभली 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 साइलेन्ट भ्युअरले के छ त मेरो दाइ
They are gonna die on this
बस्दिनु चाहिँ
hill.
पर्यो है पर्यो है हेक्जो दाइलाई पनि भन्नु त अर्को डिभाइसबाट भयो नि यहाँ बस्दिनु पर्यो
Wow. Oh no.
I'd like to
गेमको साउन्ड ठुलो भएको छ हो
I'd like to think it's not
हेलो
better mastery. I'd like to think it's just
गेमको साउन्ड ठुलो भएको छ कि के हो म हल्का घटाउँछु कि
that
त
kind of lineup into. But wait, let me
भनिदिनु
see.
पर्यो है
Did Aurora PH try this? They tried it once. Aurora PH tried the utility jungler meta
गेमको
once.
साउन्ड ठिक छ नि गाइज गेमको साउन्ड धेरै नै ठुलो छ कि मेरो मिठो आवाज सुन्न मन लाग्यो हो सबलाई
World is their oyster, Alter Ego. They can go for their assassin right now, or maybe just go for a Kalia. Oh, wait, let's find out. It's the Leopard. I mean, it's just between Leopard as well as
Okay,
Izuchin.
okay.
Right now, what they're going to do is to ban
के
the
स्प्याम
marksman
स्प्याम
for
हानेको
innocent,
त्यस्तो
like the hard
नगर्नु
carry
न ल
marksman.
So that they can kind of ensure that it
Exactly.
goes where they want it to go.
के भयो ट्यालेन्ट
They just banned the
ट्यालेन्टिना
pod.
EXP
Maybe
ओके
a
Ranger or Granger.
ट्यालेन्टिना
Ranger, yeah,
EXP
Ranger.
किमी मिड
Because I
लियो मोड
think you're
जङ्गल है त
because that will mean
अब
that
हाम्रो बाँकी
Bastion
भनेको
adds the
रोम
call,
र
which is
गोल्ड
like
बाँकी छ यताबाट
ultra magic
अनि यताबाट
based
सोरा
for SRG.
सोरा हिल्ला
I think just
सेक्रिसले
banned
फेरि
call.
बाक्स्या
They-
भनेपछि
Yes, bro.
हिल्ला त रोमै हुन्छ स्योर बाक्से जङ्गलले हान्छ
Interesting. Or maybe they
यो
will force
सोराको चाहिँ
Victoria,
भन्न
that's why they're
सकिँदैन
not
EXP
afraid.
नै हुनसक्छ गोल्ड पनि
Alter Ego is
हुनसक्छ
such
है
an anomaly,
अब
even though
यताबाट
you have a
मिड र
very
के
clear
बाँकी छ
idea of
अब
how they
यता
want to play and the heroes
EXP
they want to
गोल्ड
play.
के
But I'm
आउँछ
taking a lot of time right now trying to think of the draft.
We literally have 1 day left in the tournament, and until now you say you think you know them.
Yeah. And on this day, I still can't see clearly.
Yeah. It's so difficult, especially for Alter Ego, because it's just mainly because of how flexible they can be.
हाम्रो टिमै गयो टिएलपिएस है अब त मलाई त जो जित्नु मतलब छैन हो गाई नि कुनै दिन यता हुनु स्योर स्योर यार
No, you
होइन
don't even look for XP, you look for a road ban here.
तिमीहरूको माया भइराख्यो भने म पनि हुन्छु त्यहाँ के थाहा कास्टरमा हुन्छु कि
It's clear what they're trying to do with the first
तिम्रो
phase,
माया
but
गरिराख न यसरी नै
after bans,
स्योर नि
we don't know. Because even SRG is just kind of going, they're not hard denying, it's more of just,
Yeah.
we make sure you go this way.
Yeah. You know what kind of sucks here for SRG? They have to choose whether or not they're willing to give.
मैले त्यहाँ
either
मिड
the
हान्न पाएँ
usual
भने
or
त
the
यस्तो
hero
हान्छ
miss
यस्तो
to
हान्छ
Nino.
यिनीहरूलाई
Yeah.
अघि लिलिया खेलेको थियो है अल्टर इगोकोबाट यो हिजो मैले म जति चाहिँ नखेल्ने
Overall,
रहेछ
that's not the easiest. Actually, you know what? What if Alter Ego prioritizes the glue now?
Ooh.
Because that would mean that they can flex it actually.
थ्याङ्क
Yeah,
यू
but Rome
त्यही
Blue
मलाई
is
नेक्स्ट
actually
एमएचमा
just their answer to the
अघि
utility
त्यो
jungle.
के
Exactly.
Just
के भन्छ
ruins your
त्यसलाई
back line.
त्यो एमआरओबाट पनि आएकोहरू थियो नि के त पाँचजना यतिकै साइडबाट त्यसरी पनि पुग्दो रहेछ है हामी त्यसैले अर्को विकदेखि चाहिँ हामी एमआरओ पनि सिरियस भएर हान्छौँ है पहिला सिजन त मिठो हानेको हो टिम नभएर पछि खेल्न मिलेन कि कति लेभल 3 कि 4वटा पछि चाहिँ नमिल्ने रहेछ टिमै चाहिँदो रहेछ है त्यस्तो
That
भएर
used to be
चाहिँ
the
खेलेन
bane of many a ranked game
पहिलाको
players.
सिजन चाहिँ राम्रो नै खेलेको थियो एमआरओ पनि
Instant
अब
stars.
यो सिजन त अब खै नभ्या होला त्यो पनि हामी अर्को विकदेखि हान्छौँ है
Mid laner's gone. That will be
के
really
बिहान
tough
हान्यो
no
त्यही
matter
त
what you end
स्नेजल
up
र
with. They
एलिस
ban
बिहान
off the
हान्यो
Joe.
यताबाट
And that
सिसी
would
र
have been
चौ
good
हान्यो
for
है
Selangor
यता यता भने
for
अब
Alter
देखि
Ego,
नै
despite them
होला
not having the sheer burst with the choke Kimmy. It is annoying. Someone gets kicked, attraction pulse comes out, and next thing you know, you
Broken
can
walls परेको
help the
रहेछ
guy that
म्याप
just got kicked.
glue might be a good.
Mean
Glue, like I said, is a good pick, but I do feel like Kyle was such a
अर्को विकदेखि हामी हान्नुपर्छ
neutral
फ्राइडे
pick
र
for Alter
स्याटरडे
Ego that really opens up
तिम्रो
the
फेरि
draft for
आमेन
them.
तिमी
There's not much color.
है तिमी आउँदै आउँदैन तिम्रो कुरै मात्र हुन्छ
That's also very true. Opens at Silas, and of course the double horse technique is great. Okay, Rome Guinevere.
Yep, confirmed. This is Alex Guinevere.
So much magic damage, obviously.
जाडो छ तातो भएर बस्छ मैले सबैजना
This could be on the way to another long stomp as SRG cannot put in more bodies or more mobile heroes. I just realized, yeah, they cannot put many more bodies. Their bodies are Baksha, Sora, Hilda.
Yeah.
Their last two picks here need some form of survivability or can last in team fights long. This is an honest approach by Alter Ego. If Stormy has a Lily under his belt, this would be the time to bring it out.
Yep. Claude is so tempting for SRG because they need that hard carry. They go zip.
मिड त मैले छोड्यो भने मात्र पाउँछ है मिड चाहिँ मैले रोम हाल्यो भने चाहिँ मिड पाउँछ
In trouble. You might.
आउनु पर्यो कि मेन कुरा त्यो एमएम मिड भनेर हुन्छ र आउनु पर्यो नि तर ओइ के भयो साँच्ची ओइ पिक त हेरेकै छैन त यताबाट हाम्रो एसआरजीबाट सोरा
And you already know that
सोरा
the
भनेपछि एक्सपी नै गयो है सोरा एक्सपी गयो हाम्रो बाक्से जङ्गल हिल्दा रोम जेटे मिड लौडे फेरि कमिसनले लिएर एमएमए हान्दैछ है अब यताबाट के बाँकी छ हाम्रो गोल्डै बाँकी छ गोल्डमा आरपीले के हान्छ त ट्रेया नै हान्ला र
Maybe the
Freya हान्ला त आरपीले
picking up Freya here is because of the Zet, yeah.
के
No, of course not.
ट्रेया हानेदेखि ट्रेया हाने है फेरि अघि पनि उता इनोसेन्टले लौडे नै लिएको थियो
Maybe they took the time just to
त्यति बेला नि
talk about
फ्रेया
the first
हान्यो
few
है
minutes
फेरि
of the
पनि
game.
फ्रेया
Yeah,
लियो
this
है
is the
च्यालेन्ज
game.
च्यालेन्ज
Delayed not denied.
At this point, considering it's Alter Ego, I'm still gonna lean towards Alter Ego for this draft.
I cannot not root for Alter Ego in this
अब
draft.
चाहिँ
So I'm
अल्टर
going
होइन इगोमै लाग्ने गरी है यो म्याच हार्यो भने त बोरै हुन्छ हो एसआरजीलाई
Something new, but no, this is the same. It's the Freya.
जुम्सले पनि फेरि हिल्दै खेलेको छ होइन अनि सेकाइसले पनि बाक्सै खेलेको छ है यसपालि क्र्याम र स्टोर्मीले मात्र चेन्ज गरेको छ स्टोर्मीले अघि किमी हानेको थियो अहिले जितेन हान्यो क्र्यामले अघि के हानेको थियो लप्पु लप्पु हानेको थियो अहिले सोरा हान्यो सोरा
They give Freya. They picked up a Sora when the Valentina's open. They didn't do that in the previous game, but
तर
then
भ्यालेन्टिनाले सोराको लिन भ्याउला त
Cardinal said, welcome to game number 2. Alter Ego is leading. Will they go to match point first or will SRG swing it back?
तर गेमको भोल्युममा एक दुई घटाइदिन्छु है
Coach Sheffer in RV's conversation.
तिन घडी चाहिँ दुई मात्र घटाउनु पर्छ
Okay, it's happening again. Maybe Innocent does better this time. I was thinking that was the case in the last game, but hey, this might work better. They have a different of a draft, but I still have to lean towards Alter Ego's draft here too. Just when you think you know,
सुरु सेकेन्ड
maybe
म्याच
that's why they have
है
three mass.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like there is
आमामा
somewhat of a clear
युम्सलाई त
idea
के
as to why
सहले हान्यो
they're trying to
एकैचोटि
stick with the
अहिले
matchup,
उताबाट
going up against
किमी
the
लिएको छ है
Leeward.
अघि यताबाट किमी लिएको थियो
Alter Ego
अब उताबाट किमी लिएको यिनीहरूले यस्तै गर्छ यार कतिजना हिरोहरू चाहिँ है यताबाट लिएको फेरि उता लिइदिने उताबाट लिएको फेरि यता
the steps
लिइदिने
that are necessary for us
त्यस्तो
to see what
भइरहेको छ
the idea is all about. Although
तर
in
यिनीहरूले अब
terms of
कस्तो
the
हुन्छ
leads,
किमी
look at
मिड
them,
मेरो
they're
विचार है यो चाहिँ अब के हो कस्तो हो किमी मिडमा भयो अब किमी मार्क्सम्यान पनि भयो नि त होइन अनि यिनीहरूले मार्क्सम्यान लिएको छ कि फ्रेया छ गोल्डमा यता भ्यालेन्टिना छ एक्सपीमा
Yeah, they want to go ahead and push a lot of lanes.
किमीले मार्क्सम्यानको काम गरि नै हाल्छ
Here, of course. Again, this is Cram using the Sora and the XP lane with a concussive blast as well instead of the Brave Smite. Now,
क्र्याबले अल्टर इगोको नै त्यो
like we saw on the Swiss
इमोट
stage,
देखाएर
right?
बसिरहेको
Nino's
छ
got the Valentina
उता
with Brave
कक्रोच
Smite,
स्क्रैप
Festival
सुरु भयो है
Blood, and we saw before where that Valentina pick that
भ्यालेन्टिनाले
took
खायो
the Sora ultimates and everything else was the better Sora. You know, it was like cosplaying a better
याजुकी लेभल 4 पुग्यो अल्टर इगोको
Nino
हाइपर
could potentially
लियोमोड
do that
यता
here,
पनि
but
पुग्यो
not on
सेकेस
this
पनि
lane.
बाक्सा पनि लेभल 4 पुग्यो
Not
है
only that, but I have to really commend Alec here. One of the most diverse roamers throughout the course of M7. Probably, he might even have the most unique hero picks himself in the roam specifically. But, you know, because this is not a hero, like, Guinevere is not a hero that
Nino
does
EXP
too well.
पनि
I think it had an
पुग्यो है
18% win rate or so. But,
अल्टर
you know,
इगोको
seeing
EXP
Nino
पनि
holding on to that
भ्यालेन्टिना पनि
ultimate
पुग्यो
turtles up, they've got
Level
position
4
in favor for them.
And coupled with
मिडहरू
these
पुगेन
heroes,
लेभल 4
right,
चाहिँ
if we see
मिडहरू
these
पनि ठ्याक्क
synergies
ठ्याक्कै
come into
पुग्यो है
play, especially
लेभल
with
4
the
पुग्यो उताको पनि EXP लेभल 4 पुग्यो
copy
16
ultimate from Cram that Nino could potentially combo with Alec later on. But speaking of Alec,
बाक्स्या
oh,
जितेनले अल्टी हान्यो याजुकीलाई च्याप्यो फर्स्टमै हाइपरले च्याप्दियो है लभली 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 उताको हाइपरले हान्थ्यो फर्स्टमा लियो मोडलाई तर उता निनोले युम्सलाई खाइदियो आरसीले स्टोरी क्रामले निनो
We're
ओके
2.5 minutes in and it's already 3 kills, 4
lovely 2
kills.
for 2
Make it 5.
सिकिसले खायो ओइ सिकिसले फ्रेयाले हान्ला त हान्दिन्छ त फ्रेयाले मार्दियो भने सिकिसले मार्दियो उ फ्रेयाले बाक्स खाइदियो आरसी आरसीको आजको गेम लभली गइरहेछ है
Man, a lot of those kills went over to Alter Ego, and then you have 2 on Arfi now. So again, they're going to find themselves in the same position as before, but even better of a start for Arfi.
अल्टर इगो
Yeah, we might
त
actually
फायरमा
beat
छ
game one's
बगान
record of number of kills in whatever number of minutes, because so far it's been action-packed. Even Cram this time around, compared to game number 1, he's really trying to fight. And that's also mainly because you could say that he is on a Sora. He is the guy that's expected to do that, especially during those first few objective takes that you see. But so far, there's no significant
the Alter
lead
Ego
just
त्यो
yet
इमोट
between
देखा
any of
छ
these two.
देखा छ
Probably the
त्यो निनोलाई
most for Alec, because you get to see him get poked down quite often. And it's not him landing the spatial migrations all the time, but I don't think that's going to be completely necessary, because you could rely on other members of Alter Ego to just follow up, even though you
भ्यालेन्टिनाले पनि त्यसकै चोरेको थियो भने सँगै हाने हो दुबईले निनो
Interesting that they just
हाँसिरहेको
kind of battled out there, but that's what to expect. And with this, all right, they keep it together.
Yeah, for everything's still going good for Alter Ego Esports here, although compared to the past rotations we've seen from them, there hasn't been much towards the top lane. So, Innocent and RP, they're still relatively free, but despite that, it's interesting to see that RP is on a 2-0 already.
It's really interesting too with the, every time the Zetian gets picked up, it's not entirely a dead lane in the mid lane, but it's more so like most mages cannot go against the range that the Zetian has over them. So you more so are kind of just stuck there waiting.
ओए गिनीबले सेट हान्दियो सोरालाई सोरा मजाले फर्क्यो है बच्चे सोरा
Alter Ego
बाक्स पनि आज हेर्न ठिक टटलको टाइम पो छ त हो EXP चेट भन्दा गाह्रो पर्छ त भ्यालेन्टिनाले चोर्यो
Run on to Alex. Guys, look for another shot. Alec forced
चोरेन के हो
run away. Now Hijime and Nino on the way. Yazuke does not have the Phantom Steed just yet, but he is still going to start this turtle. Okay, Nino. Going to go take that ultimate, and then they just call off the turtle for now. While they go ahead and reset, grab the buffs that they need, especially for Yazuke. And you notice in the last fight that we saw, Yazuke got blitzed. So at some point, you got to be able to go ahead and maneuver around that for the way that SRG is taking these fights. So look at the control of Alter Ego, man. They pretty much just won that objective by just taking control around it.
And they will continue to pressure Sakai's. They got it.
Sakai's is who did get it? I'm looking for the stuff right now, and I do not see it.
ओए सेकाइसले पिल्दो सेकाइसले खाइदियो बाक्स्यालाई अब सोराको पालो सोरालाई पनि चेप दियो डबल किल याजुकी लियो मोड
I guess that confirms Yazuke actually got away with the orange buff. So Sakai's now down 2 deaths and is literally being okay, that's a passive from Stormy. They're not gonna finish off that kill, but yeah.
I think it's purple too.
All resources almost gone for you.
Yeah. Oh, Stormy got it.
Oh.
Sorry. I knew Yazuke didn't get it.
Okay.
Alright, back to reality. Flicker use. At least it's on SRG side.
Yeah.
Still, nonetheless, they've really got to be able to go ahead and deal with what's being thrown at them. It was great playing around the objective by Alter Ego, but then even when they decided to put pressure on the jungle of SRG, there wasn't much of a response. Even looking at the items, again, they're not really where they need to be in terms of like fighting pressure. Got a radiant armor, a couple leg plates over here across the board for more of the tankier members of SRG. DHS is there for Innocent, obviously still working on that second item, trying to build up here. But more so, he's just kind of farming up. He doesn't have to do anything fancy until he gets to that point. And as we always say with Claude, that's kind of like that. It's that card that you have in the later portion of the game, the mid game, late game, especially when the Trinity is there. As long as Innocent can farm up, that's great for him. But more so, like we've seen, when a Freya is across the field, that's not everything, right? And at the same time, it continues to build up. You mentioned about that Sky Pierce and the way he's been playing, it might be big.
Alec room लाई हान्यो room गयो गिनीबरले खाइदियो याजुकी निनोले स्टोरलाई खायो भने याजुकी बचिरहेछ यार याजुकी त उल्टै क्र्यामले हान्यो क्या हो
the
Easy
careless
level खाइदियो,
tramp falls
pure
short
shell
on the
जस्तो
top
लाग्यो है।
side of the fight, but in comes the blazing
Easy
duet,
को मैं
and
pure shell
Innocent is
बनिसकेको छु।
immobilized.
आम्मा Innocent
There's
लाई पनि
nothing
खाइदियो।
he can do.
त्यो याजुकी यार लियो मोड त्यस्तो लो थियो, फर्केर आएर हान्दियो
And
हो।
they lose 4 members of SRG in that fight. Alter Ego is just making it all work.
Yep, without Stormy there first. It was a massive problem here for SRGs. Cram 2 decided to continue what was started. He was split up, he was separated from the rest of the members. But Alter Ego had enough damage to deal with him. Now when they decided to shift, even when Innocent was there, even when there was a
Totally easy
decent amount of damage coming in from the Blazing Duet, you know
blue
how Alter Ego plays. They're just all over the place. So nowhere is safe, not even with the BMI.
Yeah, not even. Oh no, they're gonna go again.
Sekeisले फेरि चेप दियो।
Each of them able to get some nice chip
Baxia.
damage, and they're all brought back.
ओइ
Stay low, and he gets the kill on Humes. Alex is
हैन
walking away with
भ्याउँछ
the
कि खै भने
Phoenix.
स्टोर्मीले एक किल
Messes them down
ला
in the bottom side. Keeping our eyes on Nino. He
ला
finds him
चार जना
with
डिडी
Stormy,
डेड
and it's nothing but Innocent standing. The fight looks so
SRG ले
good
कस्तो
for a
पिटाइ
second
खाएको
for
भने
SRG, but they lose 4 again, back to back.
Nino on this Valentina who's, I don't know, he's been using more of the Sora ultimates than Crab has ever did. And we have to take a look at the instant replay to see how things actually broke out. So if you were to focus on Innocent, definitely it looked really okay. Because it was coupled with the crowd control that Crab was actually able to use on the Sora. But those last minute dodges from the Fury of the Phoenix and this tanky mode that you get to see from Nino in the
Nino
shooting
यार
clouds.
भ्यालेन्टिना नि डेन्जर
That's
हान्थ्यो
what I'm saying.
त
That minor adjustment and not getting hit by the Fury of the Phoenix. Oh, traction pulls thrown out, man. AE is not letting up at all. They want to go ahead and take the buffs if they can. And I think SRG really wants to keep this side of the jungle. Oh, they die from RP!
लभली लभली जितेनको अल्टी लभली चाहिँ लभली तर ओए उता याजुकीले युजले च्याप दियो
And now, members are dropping on each side. RP though still standing strong. He
Yazuki double
takes him
kill.
down. And Second
RP
will be the last to drop.
Wiped out.
Yazuke with a triple. And RP gets thrown the other two.
याजुकी
Yeah, a couple fell from Alter Ego,
याजुकी
but
आज
man,
आम्बो हेर्न आएको छ
oh, man.
गेम आशीर्वाद पाएको छ यार
SRG just
याजुकीले
keeps throwing their bodies into a wall, and that wall is Alter Ego.
And how unfortunate is it for SRG that it's Arfi and Yazuke who are still
Freya-
alive at
Freya
that
तो यार
moment?
लत्ती
No one
हान्दिने यार
could hold them down.
डराउँदै
Who would you
नडराउने भने
expect to actually dish out the crowd control? There was Crab, he was there, but he used majority of it to set up multiple members of Alter Ego, which we thought would already look good for them, but Yazuke and Arfi just walked past all of that.
Oh, another violent requiem.
गिनीभरले कस्तो गीत गरेको
But in
थियो
the backside, Yazuke doesn't care about the ball.
ल याजुकीले इनिसियलले खाइदियो यार लियो मोड
And a nice RP on Stormy. There's no
Stormy
escape.
जेटिएनलाई पनि मारिदियो सोरा पनि मर्यो अब को थियो बाक्सिया ल बाक्सिया नि डेडी डेडी युम्स मात्र बाँकी हिल्दा मात्र बाँकी सिद्धो गेम
Time and time again, they'll do it for the third time. They'll make their way to this bottom
युम्स चाहिँ बचाउनु भ्यो होला त
as Humes has to watch.
Gonna force it again.
युम्स चाहिँ बचाउनु भ्यो होला त उता लियो मोडले त्यहाँ लड हान्दैछ
Mid and bottom lane, holy shit,
सेकेन्ड
it's Humes alone.
यसो यसो याजुकी हो
Alter
नि
Ego have been playing
खाइदियो
too
हिल्लालाई
long today,
तर
but
इनोसेन्ट
Innocent's
लडी
gonna
आउन
come
थियो
out. Alter
क्लियर
Ego's
त
forced to
हुन्छ
back off.
लड खायो
And
है
Yazuke takes the Lord.
लड खायो
First Lord of the game. And inhibitor's already broken. Dude, at this point for SRG, I would almost just say, man, like, I mean, think about how many team fights there's been. And I would be thinking, man, we have this, but then all of a sudden we don't. And that's in a weird position to be in because your biggest damage dealer, which is usually the Claw, like we mentioned. Whoa, Purify was used, by the way. The Purify is gone now for Innocent, and Lord is making its way down bot.
Yeah.
It's going to be even tougher. He's going to have to rely on some defensive items or fancy footwork to make this work. They're going to go for the base. Holy Shield pop.
गाह्रै पर्ला हो
RP
एसआरजीले
jumping
अब
for
त
you.
गोल ग्याप
That top
11,000
shield
को छ
come
हो
off as well.
12,000 नै भन्नु 12,000 को गोल ग्याप भइसक्यो यार
How does this RG defend this?
गाह्रै
They
पर्छ
are 12,000
यसमै
goals
सिधाउनु दिएको छैन यो लड्न
behind. And this has been a dominant game for Alter Ego
अब यहाँ एउटा
esports.
फाइट पर्छ होला
They
डेन्जर
can definitely take advantage of that, but not
Seriously,
if they're dying like
Freya
so.
छिर्यो
Once again, and a nice shifting cloud.
छोराले हान्यो है भ्यालेन्टिना हो त्यो भ्यालेन्टिनाले छोराको लिएको रहेछ अल्टी फर्स्ट म्याच छोराले खाइदियो है याजुकी लियो मोडले ओए सेट हान्थ्यो गिनीबरले सेट हान्थ्यो भने
Nino cleans him up.
सिद्धो विनिङ मोमेन्ट
The base and Alter Ego take us to match point. El Padre.
Finally जान्छ जस्तो यार Alter Ego final जान्छ क्या हो
Taking the IMU Ultimate, taking the Sora Ultimate, and
लाइक हान्नु पर्यो लाइभमा
to push into the base. Alter Ego, I still have to say it. What are we going to do with the draft? Take the Freya, what do you take away? Take away the Freya. They need to stop. But it's not even just the it's everything now.
I enjoy seeing it, don't get me wrong. I enjoy seeing it and how good RP is with it, but not when teams aren't able to keep up.
You gotta take away, I don't know, the Freya.
जितोस् Alter Ego मलाई त मतलब पनि छैन जोजिदिन तर SRG ले यस्तो कोडे खाथि म
Just when you think you
अलि
have
मजा
the
लागेन
real
के
figure
मलाई
out.
जोजिदिन मतलब छैन सबले
They
दाने
bring
खेलेछ
something
है
else out in the draft.
कोही भन्दा कोही कम छैन
I gotta say,
तर
the
SRG ले यस्तो
versatility
कोडे
of
खाथि हल्का
Alex.
होइन कि जस्तो लाग्यो
With this Guinevere, who has an abysmal win
गोल
rate,
गाबी 12000 को थियो यति
makes it
बेला
work, man. And the amount of times that they were low health, fighting these fights but relying on each other, plus the killing spree that is here too with Yazuke, man. They were able to do this so
त्यो
beautifully.
गिनी बलले त्यो एक सेट
What is
गेम
going
किने
on with Alter Ego? Is this the momentum from... Serious, look at the smiles on Nino's face, man.
के
Again,
भने यार सफिन
match point
Alter
now.
Ego
Match point
फाइनल
against
जित्छ भन्दा
SRG.
पनि
We
डिजर्भिङ
can
है
throw this over to the panel to break this
Deserving
one
वाला
down, because,
खेलिरहेछ
man, what a
है।
game.
एसआरजी त्यही भने यार दाइ दाइ मैले त्यही मन विश्वासै लागेन हो यस्तो कुटै खाएको चाहिँ अल्टर इगोले अघि टिएलपिएसलाई हराएको हो नि त टिएलपिएसलाई आउट पार्दै हो प्र्याक्टिस भयो जस्तो छ कि धेरै नै प्र्याक्टिस भयो जस्तो
Every moment, every
Nino.
second, they know what they need to do, and they
Handsome
get
boy.
it done. They are playing perfectly.
माङ्गा काशी फ्रेया बिहान हान भनिरहेको छ एल
We
पाद्रे
put up some signs here. El Padre.
Oh, Roran
that is,
Bawal, sir.
Leo's
Bawal to Bawal,
new
sir,
name here
Roran,
for Nino.
My vote for MVP this game.
His vote for
अल्टर
MVP
इगोले
was
आज जुन
something
खेल्यो
in
नि यार
Filipino
सरी
written by
डिजर्भ
both
चाहिँ होइन फाइनलमा पुग्ने डिजर्भ गर्छ भन्न
which
खोज्यो
means
जित्छ भन्दा जितोस् भन्दा
You
नि
should have banned Freya.
हामीलाई त
You should
मतलबै
have
छैन
banned
नि
Freya. I
साथी
told you
जसले
to ban
जित्यो
Freya,
नि
something like that.
At this point, it doesn't matter if the gold laner
रोरा
is
बवाले
confident
भइरहेको
of
छ है यसपालि
beating and
कि त अब
matching
एमपिएलहरूमा
our lane.
टिएलपिएसले हानि नै रह हो
We're giving
रोरालाई पहिला त
comforts that
प्र्याक्टिस धेरै
Alter
भयो
Ego are
गाइजहरुको लभली हो
using
तर
to
है
dissect your entire gameplay. It's not about the individual skill. It's about how these heroes brought together make Alter Ego look perfect.
That's super correct because you can see that the Freya Mord is
फ्रेया
just
तर
so good.
यार आरफीले
Even that last
यस्तो
big
राम्रो
clash
खेलेछ
that
नि यार
happened
फ्रेया
around the orange buff of
Lovely
SRG.
play,
It was
lovely.
the Freya and the Leo Mord that actually survived the entirety of that despite having so much explosions out there. But then you
तीन
also have
गेममै
to think
मुझी
about
घर
the
पठाइदिन्छ
big,
क्या हो SRG लाई
opposition here coming out from
ड्री गेममा
Alter
मुझी
Ego
ड्री
and how they were able to use it. And
तीन
also,
हान्दियो भने त एसआरजी त
their
बिल्ला हुन्छ त
rotations
हो
into the first
टिएलपिएसलाई
circle
पो जित्यो त अस्ति
were very interesting. But also, you could kind of expect it. The strength of the Freya is you can leave your lane, fast clear it, leave your lane, get into the turtle, force a 5v4. And we've seen that so many times. I'm just surprised at how much this has been repeated. I think, I hate to use this word, but teams are getting so stubborn when it comes to managing the Freya Mord.
And let's say all is done. We've picked our heroes, we've locked into the draft, which is, again, when you look at it on paper, let's say a week ago, 2 or 3 days ago, you'd say, I don't think that Kimmy would survive. Interesting, Guinevere Rome.
Yeah.
You would think this is
अन्त
winnable for
गिनी गर्नु त
SRG,
है
even
यिनीहरूले
favored
रोम
sometimes
त गरे
when you get winning rotations,
सपोर्ट
right?
गरे त्यही भने यार
But something
सर
about Alter Ego
टिएलपिएस
and the
गयो
order in
अब
which
त
they
जोजिदिन
pick
मतलब छैन
makes you think you're safe.
तर पनि तर
And I
टिम
can't
चाहिँ
believe,
दामी
again,
टिम हो नि
just to
अहिले
add to the
अल्टर इगो
whole
एसआरजी अनि अब
Freya
उता रोरा त
situation,
भइहाल्यो होइन
You got a winning lane
दामी दामी
in
टिम छ होइन
the
लाइक जो जित्यो पनि
with the Valentina into
ठिक
the
छ तर
Sora, which was
यस्तो
your
2
first pick,
0
by
3
the way,
0
the
चाहिँ
Sora.
नहोस् होइन
And then you have
एसआरजीलाई चाहिँ
the less than ideal lane of the Claude having to slow roll out of there. In
यसरी
the early
पनि
game
मिठो
against a
आएको
Freya
नि
that's just
यार
always game. Come first turtle, she will jump you.
तीनटा डिफ्रेन्ट कन्ट्री छ होइन
This was
अल्टर इगो
writing on the
इन्डोनेसिया
wall. Alter
SRG
Ego
Malaysia.
are on the same pace as they were
अनि हाम्रो अरोरा
against
फिलिपिन्स
Liquid and are just literally just pressing load game.
In long tournaments like this in M7, like there's 2 weeks, there's the meta game evolves, and there will
MVP
always
कसले पायो
be a
होला त
team
आरफी
that has the
आरफी
most of-
फेरि आरफी
And it's
जी
very
एमभीपी
clear with an 8-0 and 10 performance. Back-to-back
आरफी
Freya board.
कौन है बे
This guy
कौन है बे
deserves to be
मैं
the MVP. The way that he actually changes his target to the proper target eventually. Like, Well, you would think that Freya would only counter the Claude, but there were so many times that he actually finished off the kill onto Sekai's, when Sekai's didn't have the Busans anymore, or the shield unity, I mean. And then he goes for that, gets for the last hit, and then eventually just takes out the entirety of the team when they do get out.
Yeah, not to mention how a lot of
8-0
Alter
team,
Ego's
ನಮ್ಮ
heroes
ಅಂದೆ.
naturally, save for maybe the Kimmy, take away the passive of the Zetian. So already, one of our saving graces of, oh yeah, that's why SRG, that's why Stormy was so comfortable in the Zetians, because it's the ultimate utility hero that might be able to counter and slow down RP's forward momentum. But alas, it wasn't. Even that wasn't enough.
His name is one letter away from being the name of the hero he's using, guys.
AE-RP though.
E एउटा भयो नि फ्रेया पनि बन्छ है आरपीबाट त्यसो भन्दा
All alliance. It's the Garuda for Indonesia.
यो वाला टिम फाइटमा के उनीहरू गयो नि भन्थानेको मैले अल्टर इगो होइन तर कस्तो बचाएर न एकजना मात्र जान्छ यहाँ ऊ जिनीबाट एकजना मात्र त्यो पनि जेतेनको अल्टीले अरू त मोबिलिटी फ्लिकर के छ मुजी हानेर फाँड यहाँ पनि हेर न लभली पर्या हो नि जेतेनको तर अफसोस
idea behind this lineup. You start with the Zetian ultimate to
Liomod यार लियोमोड आरती हेर न
come from the Sora eventually, and of course the jump from this backshot. And you also have that spotter, which in this case is Yums, so that no matter what happens,
Yums रिकल हान्दा थियो धन्न Yums एकजना बचेर होइन यो एकछिन होल्ड भयो नि यहाँनिर लड आउनु अघि नै क्रिपले 4 जना आउट भइसक्यो थियो Yums मात्र बाँकी थियो Yumsले बचायो नि एकछिन
You're losing that
अब
exchange.
यहाँनिर
You're not
सेट
even
भेट्यो
thinking of what the laning
winning
looked like.
moment.
So approaching the situation, you're at a disadvantage. In the situation, unless Alter Ego just decides to stand there and take the Fury of the Phoenix laying down, that's your only way to win. So that's why this one went, I don't want to say a little bit faster, but way faster. We came from a almost 90-minute game to a 12-minute game.
लास्ट में तो 14,000 को गोल गैप बनाइदियो लास्ट फाइट अगाडि 12,000 को ग्याप भइसकेको थियो
They're playing as if they've already won the grand finals. This performance from them is peak. Yes, game number 1 was a lot of trades. But if you look back at the trades they were taking, it was taken at the right time. And they eventually found the clap back. It's a team that, I don't know, are they being undermined by the teams that they're going up against?
I think that's where it boils down to. When you're talking about mentality, something about Alter Ego makes teams like Team Liquid earlier today. And now, with SRG, they want to fight Alter Ego on the same front. We're in. Most times, it's not a good idea.
It's also another to really believe in the composition that you have. This is the second time that SRG have employed this Baxia plus the Claude, which actually works. Like just if you're looking just on the face value of this kind of composition from SRG, you have 2 scaling heroes from your mid lane as well as your gold lane. That's just like super normal. And then you have good early game heroes between the Hilda, the Baxia, as well as the Sora. In any scenario, if you use them against a utility or against an assassin or a fighter juggler, it would have worked. But this is not just not a fighter juggler or the assassin. This is a Freya with the Leomord. It has been refined over by Alter Ego. You can see how well they adjust with that.
Yeah, the Leomord of Alter Ego is not undefeated. The Freya for RP, not undefeated. But that is a 70% win rate on average from these 2 heroes. At this point, again, I apologize if we sound like a broken record, but if a team is this good with this specific strategy, no matter the theory that you come up with to try and beat it, if it doesn't work once, if it doesn't work twice, you have to change things up. You have to start respecting Alter Ego, and I've been doing this long enough that I get quite ticked off when I see one team clearly looking at another team and saying, we disrespect your picks, and this is what happens.
This is different though, because this is a best of 5 elimination match.
Yeah.
And when you gave up two wins to your opponents, they're at match point.
That's 2 wins too many.
2 wins too many.
Yeah, and this is why this win is so crucial for SRG.
That's right.
Because if they got this win, then that's hope for them. Like, okay, we can now play around the draft a little bit. We ban the Freya in game number 3. Maybe even take away the Leomord, and then the picture changes. Then you have another game to see what Alter Ego's response is to those heroes being taken away from them. Don't worry, I'm chill, guys. It's all chill. Don't worry, we're chill. We're just passionate about their jobs and passionate about what we do. And maybe the reason why I'm a little bit like this right now is compared to the Swiss stage, and compared to the knockout stage, clearly we do not have our all favorite chairs of all time.
I got to sit on one doing the Filipino broadcast. Yep. I hosted for a week. I'm like,
Feels really good, right? Well, I mean,
Pero
maybe we have a Secret Lab chairs here where you can play better for longer with Secret Lab's ergonomic chairs trusted by the world's best MLBB teams. I would be less crashing out. No, I'm kidding. I'm chill. Whether you're enjoying a casual game with friends or climbing to Mythic, Secret Lab can elevate your game with tournament-grade ergonomic support, the very same kind that powers the pros on the elite stage. That's powering Alter Ego right now at the run that they are in. And, ooh, did you get something nice on your... Oh, wait, that's Acecraft you're playing. Oh.
I'm busy.
Sorry. All right, so, Wolf, I think maybe you want to handle this?
Yeah, you can do check out what Leo is actually checking out right now. Acecraft, an STG built around adaptability, random skills, bullet deflection mechanics, and retro cartoon, which we really like. The kind of style, all designed for fast, skill-driven aerial combat. Jump into Acecraft now for more some nostalgic fun.
Yeah, wow. Layer, pretty damn good at Acecraft.
High score, baby.
I didn't know you had that in you. And yesterday we were speaking Turkish. Have you been spending some time at the MLBB Academy where for some reason you learned how to play Acecraft and pick up Turkish? Well,
The etc. channel.
Well, maybe it's because the MLBB Academy has been fully upgraded. You can get personal weekly reports to understand your pacing, strengths, weaknesses, along with a complete match history, so every big moment is recorded. You can also rate trending topics and share your perspective, like banning Freya and Leomord. Whether you're tracking stats or joining the conversation, MLBB Academy is where you watch matches and understand your growth in MLBB. You can check it out at mobilelegends.com/academy.
Speaking of banning the Freya Moid, I think that you also have to look at how good Alter Ego plays it. I think that we now have to reintroduce the box type of composition. It's practically front to back, but they're kind of the same. But
It's mobile.
It's a mobile box, I guess. It's a moving aerial influence that so far Alter Ego Sports has been very successful with. And then the way that they address is Leomord is Freya, they just move in a unified unit.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
It's, again, that's our main point here. It's not just the heroes, it's the fact that this team plays it so well.
That's true.
As if they were born to play Freya, Leomord, and whatever kind of heroes you want to put with it. They look comfortable. So, well, we're going to take our time to discuss more theories, maybe try to predict the next banning and picking a little bit better. But for now, it's time for us to watch this, a little bit more information on the great things here in M7.
I feel like no Malaysian fan, whether they are new MLBB fan or old MLBB fan, they will always remember SRG because they did the impossible. Malaysia has never won any international. And they won MSC back in the WC 2024. And then they just keep on getting podium finishes.
We started from zero. None of us was a champion before, but throughout the bonding, we make it to MSC. It was a dream come true. And we have been together for such a long time. So I think that how we perform in this M7 would really decide how the future will be.
You can never forget that. Like our region, people say we're strong, but we don't have the achievements. SRG was the first, so that's very unforgettable.
Winter Crown Play, SRG are going to the knockout stage!
For me, it means everything for my career because the previous two that I had, I only reached top 3. Ultimately, what I want is M Series title. It might be disappointing if we don't get it.
This is the last trophy that we really need, not only for our team, it's also for our country. Because Malaysia has never won an M Series, so we really want to achieve it in the possible last run that we have.
The Giants rise from the darkness and move forward in the upper bracket.
Somehow you can term it as magical. No one expected us to achieve these things, being consistent in the international stage and being the hope for a lot of people. I think it's a Cinderella story, and this is something that I will forever cherish in my memories.
It might be true that some of us won't be continue this path together, but I think no matter how this M Series ended, no matter what the future holds. This is a very special history, and this is something that I think people won't forget.
Remember the Giants. They are one of the best teams in the world. Undeniable. Their achievement in EWC 2024 put them on the map when they defeated then Falcons AP Bren in a exciting 7-game series, winning the first major international trophy for Malaysia. This is what is on the shoulders of SRG, the hope of an entire country, and they're looking for their fairy tale ending. As is in real life, not all stories are at the center of the universe. Sometimes someone else's story is bigger and larger and more unstoppable than you are, and that's what it looks like Alter Ego is right now to SRG.
Wow, that's so poetic, Redmar, but I do agree. And as much as I want and really found and I appreciated the story of Sekai, the story of Kramas, the story of Mr.
Oh, yes.
This is a competition, and the team that performs better, that plans better, that executes better, that rides the momentum better, eventually wins it. And Alter Ego, after their win against Team Liquid Philippines earlier today, they just have been resting for maybe an hour or 30 minutes.
Less.
Or even less. You can really feel the momentum and how they're riding onto it. Now they are rewarded because of it. They have 2 games ahead of SRG. They're at match point, just literally 1 win away from getting into the grand finals.
It feels like we're watching 2 teams that, for the side of Alter Ego, one thing that we talked about for Aurora Gaming Philippines, who are in the grand finals right now, is that they've evolved and finally come out of their cocoon. Beautiful analogy brought out by Trex, that it's like they've become this butterfly that finally realize who they are, how they want to play the game. While Alter Ego looks like the same team, which is why they are 1 win away from making it to the grand finals. Well, for SRG, it feels like they've taken a step back. It's like they're back in the cocoon, and we still don't fully realize, or they themselves haven't fully realized, what their team should look like.
That's why going into game number 3, you have to start with the simple steps. It's so hard to ask a question, who are you?
Yeah.
That alone is a grueling task to answer. So might I be able to present my 3-step process as to how SRG might be able to regain control
I'm excited.
in the series, all right? So step 1, stay on blue side.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go, stay on blue side.
Hello.
It's an idea, that's why there's a bulb there. Step 2, ban the Freya. I don't
Hello.
care if it's 1, 2, or 3.
Ben
blue,
Freya
just make sure
लेखेको
it's
छ
down
यार
there.
यिनीहरू।
And then step 3
फ्रेया
is
तर बेन हान्ने नै
pick the
पर्यो
board.
भन्छ आरपीले
board.
2 चोटि
Because the
फ्रेया
guys
लिएर
got on
2
the
चोटि
board
एमबिटी
again.
हान्छ यार अल्टर
Quick
इगोबाट
recap of their last 10 game review. All he played was Yusun Shin and Leomord. He won more with the Leomord.
And I wanna really add to this the concept that you have mentioned. I think it's really valid. You also have to make sure that the even Jushin is open or both banned, so that it's available for the trade-off. And what really makes this really good is that Leomord is a hero that is probably the top of the fighter meta or fighter assassin junglers that we have right now. And if ever SRG decides to go for a Yisun Chin, they are already countered. In fact, they might not even go for a Yisun Chin at that moment, which then forces SRG to put
2
another
गेममा 2
uncomfortable
हान्यो
hero for
यार
Sekai.
3 गेममा 3 हान्यो भन्दा यार बेजती हुन्छ
But
यार
I'm cool. I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm going to borrow the board. I want to write something a little bit too. So since you did that for SRG, I'm going to write something up for Alter Ego. Can you guys buy a little bit of time?
Okay. As good as banning, another hero that we also have to consider is the Hilda, which also is sort of a problem for Leomord, but it seems like there is a way for Alter Ego to actually manage it, which in this case was the Guinevere. Normally, you pick up something like a Khalid or a Cho to eventually answer this Hilda, because so that you can prevent the Hilda from invading your jungle. But it seems like the Guinevere from Alec is more than enough.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily answer the Hilda or step to it like a Khalid or a Cho would, because that would be answering it 1-to-1. But by doing Guinevere, you kind of threaten the Hilda from stepping into these weird brushes by popping a full combo. So Renmar, what have you come up with? Where is your magnum
I spent a lot of time, did so much math, and for Alter Ego, I think this is the strategy they have to go with.
भन्दै यार रेस्ट लिँदै होला नि त खेलाडीहरू
Just do you.
खेलाडी रेस्ट लिँदैछ अब हुन्छ सुरु
Not doing anything
एकैछिनमा
overly
हुन्छ दाइ
complicated. They are playing to their strengths. They have realized who they are as a team and how they want to play. So just do you.
And doing alter ego means being aggressive, being decisive with the picks as well. It seems like the way that they're drafting, there's already a formula that's like going through their head. Even when you know that they will be picking the Freya and the Leomord, there's still a full step process to go with it. To the point where they first pick the Leomord, they last pick the Freya, and in between they are banning and picking the heroes that will be good for their composition to just build it from there. And now we can see it's official. You can spell Freya with that art.
It's just it's phonetics.
Yeah. 88% win rate. I believe that means that's 7 out of 8 games. He's only lost once with the Freya, if that's the case. The best among all players in M7 so far. Will SRG ban the hero? Thank you. Even in the headlines, that's the main thing right now. Will they ban it? Will they give? Will they steal it?
They ought to. I would rather they ban it because from blue you can't rely on getting both.
Oh yeah.
The Leomord and the Freya.
And I would also, I would agree with that. I think you should just ban it so that
Freya
at least
ban
when you
Allah
eventually have to first pick the Claude, you're still comfortable with it. Because I think that Innocent with the Claude, that's actually scary. And even when they were losing, Innocent concede a lot of potential with that hero pick. And we already know that ever since the Swiss stages, Freya has been the hero to counter the Claude. So I think that is definitely a ban.
Oh yeah. Freya the Claude is Lunox the Farsa.
Yeah. 9 wins against Claude's 3 wins. In the matchup of Freya versus Claude, we go to dangerous grass. 9-3. That is the win rate of Freya over the Claude.
Alright, so step 1 for SRG is to stay blue. We're on point.
We're on point. Okay. Now you ban Hilda probably or Grok?
Because I think SRG would want to priority the Leomord. Okay, you ban the Grok. Leomord and Freya together are our biggest issue, right?
That's right.
So if they still give the Freya, at least that means they're picking up the Leomord.
Oh yeah, you break the combo.
Yeah, break the combo.
Break the combo at least.
It's a good place to start. I mean, we are the best of 5. Wait, they're already at match point, so
that's it.
This is scary.
Whatever happens here has to be the right call.
Look at this. Look at this ban from Alter Ego. They banned the Sora. They gave it in game number 2. And they know that they could not repeat that kind of draft where they aggressively picked up the Valentina plus Kimi. They recognize that a strategy, even a draft pattern, it can be countered or denied. That's why they banned the Sora this time, and now
Freya.
It should be the Freya.
For the love that is all gigantic Freya.
They
opened up Jushin or Eve.
Freya ban छैन हो
that you had, which is technically there, but I believe it has to be step by step.
च्यालेन्ज गरे हो त फ्रेया ली ल फेरि ली भनेर च्यालेन्ज हान्यो है अल्टर इगोलाई
break it, right?
Just let Sakai's play. That's how you do it.
Oh no, the Baxia ban. You gotta pick the Leomord.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Get up.
But then Alter Ego will pick up Jushin and Freya.
Yes, it will make
Master
that
Hilsor.
struggle.
My
Yes,
God,
yes,
this is
yes.
such a predicament for SRG. But what if they completely ignore it? What if they play something out of their pockets?
Professor X is sitting on Cerebro right now.
It's actually so...
He sees everything.
It's everything. He's seen this. Jushin is a good thing.
Okay.
झुक्सिन लियो है झुक्सिन लियो एसआरजीबाट लभली
Or maybe just Freya Hilda.
Yeah.
What I feel like.
I don't need to lean hard on the Leomord too much. I would not be surprised if Alter Ego just pick up the Leomord and Freya, honestly. But if they decide to give one up and pick up the Freya and, as we mentioned, the Hilda as well, that makes sense. If they don't want to give Innocent the Claude, that also makes sense. But then that means they'll be giving the Freya to Innocent, which we're going to have to double check our stats.
Actually, no. So Leomord Uranus, yeah, you're right. They are not scared of the Freya because SRG might not have picked it.
Well, Innocent, I believe, is 1-for-1 on the hero.
Okay.
He does have at least 2.
That's scary
लियो मोडल यार लियो मोडल युरेनस लीड यार यिनीहरूले थर्ड गेम पनि जित्दिन्छ जस्तो यार अल्टर इगोले जित्ने नै भनेर यार अघि TL पेसले यार
Because you need to
जित्ने
really
गेममा
answer this
जिस्केर
Gurnis
पिक गरेर
eventually. You don't
अकाइलिएर
have
यार
access
त्यो
to the Lunox.
कालजीले हग्दिएर
So,
ल्याम
what if they go assassin plus Lunox, like Lee Sin Chin, and then eventually last pick the Lunox along the way?
Yeah.
Like maybe get Lee Sin Chin and Hilda in this opener for SRG.
The Uranus there, shouldn't they consider picking up the Esme in the EXP?
No. Although they snatch it or they break it, there's the Hilda.
Good. Okay.
And immediately the Esmeralda pick up. Oh boy.
Okay.
Professor X, man.
So
He's just so good at
they
drafting.
didn't follow
So good.
beat for beat the three-step process, but
Okay.
they still ended up taking away at least half of the problem.
And the best thing about this is that they do have the two shit. So, in all honesty, I still feel comfortable about SRG's draft pick here. It's just scary because eventually they can no longer pick up the Lunox now. Not an option in the EXP, not an option in the gold as well as in the mid lane.
Nope, they locked it out.
They locked it out, so Shred has to come from somewhere else.
I think they're gonna end up being stuck with a carry, man. I think Alter Ego at this point are. Yeah, no, the Freya's there. They can't get the. Oh, this is tough.
And the question, what is Zekai's playing?
Thinking about it, I feel like there's nothing.
The MSC 2024 MVP has been under the radar for the longest time, at least for a majority of their M7 runs. So,
what a great bet at the CC. That's the strength
के
we're looking
भइसक्यो
for.
फ्रेया यताबाट चाहिँ लिएछ एसआरजीले चाहिँ
Guys have a
फ्रेया
Harley
लिएको छ
in
है
him, maybe, but the
फ्रेया
thing
कसले
is,
खेल्छ
there's
त
a Uranus on
युम्सले
the
फेरि
other
हिलै
side.
खेल्ने भयो
Uranus is more than happy to
स्टोर्मीले
just eat up the
झुक्सिन
damage of the deadly magic.
अनि
Similar to
फ्रेया
the
चाहिँ अब
Leopard,
कसले खेल्छ
similar
त
to the
क्र्याबले
Esmeralda.
खेल्छ
You can bring
कि
them down low,
इनोसेन्टले खेल्छ त
but you're
फ्रेया
not gonna kill them.
यताबाट युरेनस
He's also
लियो
played
मोड
Joy.
एस्मेराल्डा छ है
We also have to think about what Cram will be picking up because they badly need Shred. Alter Ego, they can get their roamer now. Red 4. In this scenario, they have access to Khalid.
they can go Guinevere again.
They can actually go Guinevere again. They themselves ban the Lunox, understandably. Understandably so. The world is their oyster right now, but I think that if they do pick up the Hylos without any kind of shred anymore, that would be another scary pick.
Yeah.
Hilda.
And then they can just wrap it up with an Eve, Hylos, Eve, Esme, Leomord,
That's right.
Uranus against a lineup that will not have the proper shred and won't have the proper range.
Yeah. Even the Cho is actually so good for Alter Ego right now.
Yeah.
Despite having a Hilda on the other side, could be a good way to control this Freya. There you go. There's the Cho.
On point prediction. SRG's last two picks here have to be either their ace in the sleeve they were saving for the grand finals or nothing short of a miracle.
No Sora for Cram.
Nope.
Might be left with Arlen, but it's not that good. No Alice as well. Are they going for something like a Dyroth now?
I mean, if they want shred, Dyroth has that shred.
Dyroth does have the shred.
Dairot
They
लिएको
might
हो
just be stuck with the Yu Zhong,
कोही
which is
चौध उताबाट पो लिइदियो त
But who do you hunt
तर
now?
Lancelot
युम्सले
and-
हिँड्दै खेल्ने हो यसपालि
You
ठिकै
don't
छ
have a choice. Lancelot and Yuzhong for SRG. Suyu. Okay. Okay. But then again, you go Valentina for Alter Ego.
yeah. You just go Valen. Eve is not a necessity, but I think
ल
they
ल
can
ल
still
ल
make it
अब
work.
चाहिँ अब चाहिँ हामी गेममा फोकस हाल्छौँ
The usual Freya and Suyo has made the Eve pick more difficult to pick up.
No Farsa, right?
No Farsa.
So I think Eve or Kimi are the options here for Alter Ego.
No, Kimmy's banned.
Oh, Kimi's banned. Oh, yeah. So left with Eve.
Just Eve for
सुयो
Valen.
वाइजेट आरसीले
So good right now for Alter
आरसीले
Ego.
एस्मेराल्दा कि मिनो खेल्छ या मिड लेन आएको छैन हिजोनीको लागि मिड लेनमा के खेल्छ होला त अब
Like a Katira.
मिड लेनर आउनु बाँकी छ है
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
You know what? A
Just the
Katira.
Lilia?
It's more they can
Lilia?
pick up anything.
लिल्या भन्दैछ के लेला त
That's a
इभ लियो इभ
No need to be.
Why
It's a
the-
safe pick.
हाँसिरहेको छ युम्स माधुरी
I am excited to see Suyu. I want to see it succeed.
Yeah.
I think this is a more doable composition
Last
for SRG
game.
as compared to the first two games. I
Change
still feel
हान्दैछ
like this
लेनहरू
Esmeralda,
है
the first three picks coming up from Alter Ego
हिरो
were just genius. So
स्वाप हान्दैछ
just because I want to extend this game, I want to go
लेट्स
for
गो
SRG.
लेट्स गो
Leo, I think SRG may have found an equation that works, but they really have to play this tight. because Alter Ego looks so comfortable.
You can see Selangor Red Giants on your screens as we head into the game. Lighthearted, laughing a bit. Maybe on
डेन्जरस ग्रास डेन्जरस ग्रासमा हिल्ला लिएको पनि ठिक छ ठिक त एडभान्टेज त हो तर अब हेरौँ के हुन्छ है
another game and another moment for them to shine. Will Alter Ego sweep SRG here? Or will SRG clap back finally?
यसमा पनि एसआरजीले हग्यो भने घर जान्छ चुप लागेर
Right? They finally have the Freya in the hands of Innocent for SRG, but will that be enough? Is that all that was needed? Because this lineup looks different than what we've seen before, but it could be what is needed to extend the series here.
We're seeing another Suyo. We saw one yesterday too, and the entire idea behind it. My only worry is that Alter Ego has drafted a lineup that could really thrive in extended team fights. And if the Suyo doesn't find the immediate or sudden explosive once, then it might be
yeah, part of that too is this is a very different, I would say,
अघि यार बिगत यार युरेनसले जंगल हानेर जित्यो भने अल्टर इगोले लास्ट गेम बेस्ट अफ 5 मा फिफ्थ गेम परेको थियो 2-2 भएर युरेनसलाई जंगलमा राखेर डेन्जर हान्दियो मातुरीहरुले मर्नै नमान्ने युरेनस
from Nino to not get caught out there and petrify as well from Cram.
Yeah, on paper though, there are really so many good answers from Alter Ego in their draft towards the lineup of SRG. We did mention a couple. The Esmeralda being
open. Look! Guys,
They brought low. Both teams can disengage. Testing the waters at this point.
Okay, still none of these two junglers will go down just yet, but going back, yeah, we're seeing them handling the lanes pretty well. Another advantage for Alter Ego, and I think this is one of the key factors we've seen from them in all of the previous games where they've been winning out majority of the games. So long as Eagle did get to use the flicker earlier on. Essentially, what just Team 2 has to use is just stand forward.
Okay, Alex is there, but yeah, no kick on the Cho just yet. So no Way of the Dragon, no level 4. Just kind of, if you notice, both teams just kind of get his battle spells out if they can. Couple more use Alter Ego, this fight could break out.
Does come down.
Wait, Kaido गयो हे त काइदोले जोन हान्न सक्ला त खायो सेकाइसले हान्यो टोटो है
That's usually what a Yuzhong will be able to provide for your team, especially around that first hurdle.
त इनोसेन्टले आरफीले मार्ला त
is enough to kind of keep everyone else at bay, especially if they don't really have the kind of rewards they're looking for. So that free, basically essentially a free turtle for SRG to work with, nothing too big though, as they just go back to the rotations. Now also look at the lineup for SRG. You know, Stormy getting the fusion pick was great. Really helps work together with having Yums on the hill, though, like we've seen, especially on this dangerous grass map here.
Yeah, and really good rotation so far.
Dangerous grass
it's nice to see that the Freya right now is in the hands of Innocent, but it's not just him on the Freya and somewhat winning the lane. There's also a bit more attention that's put towards the gold lane here, potentially looking to really shut down the sides that we mentioned for Alter Ego. And this is going to be such a crucial part because an Esmeralda who doesn't really get the early snowball wouldn't really pose such a threat against this lineup of SRG who has so many ways and such high mobility.
It'll be interesting to see how RP plays this Esmeralda because in their matchup against TL earlier on,
वाइजेटले च्याप्छ जस्तै रियाजुकी त्यही घाँसमा छ तर यिनीहरूले त सेकाइसलाई पो ताकिरहेको रहेछ नि त लभली युम्सले फर्स्ट ब्लड काइदोले याजुकीलाई फेरि ल युरेनसले तर सुयोलाई हान्दियो है जितेको हाइपर साइड
make it a 2-for-1.
Yeah, I feel like Alec really wanted to land the kick on Sekai's there. Oh,
RP मारला तो मारे तर टावर ल्याउन छ ओए lovely बचे RP lovely बचे.
I'm not sure if they're still going to be able to pressure RP.
He can clear this.
It'll be okay. Okay, it was all right. So yeah, again, these team fights bringing out objectives and everything else. You know, it's seeing how this push and pull works. But with the lineup for SRG, they've got a bit of the upper hand because of just how things kind of fall into place. It was great that Nino was able to capitalize a kill and catch, utilizing his flicker. But still, you're seeing how difficult it is for them to actually enter these objectives, enter the fight, especially when Cram goes forward with the Black Dragon form.
Yeah, Cram is a lot more proactive right now.
आरपी भने कस्तो बज्दै हेर्नु दाइ भर्खर गेम इनोसेन्टली टावर भित्र गएर हाने त हो तर ओइ 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 सिल्ड आक्को आइ गर्ने यार यस मेरलमा ओइ को गयो एलेक गयो त चाउचेट है उताबाट अलरेडी गएको चाउचेट लिभले अल्टी हान्यो युम्स बच्यो युम्सले फ्लिकर हाने होला सायद हो फ्लिकर हानेर बचेर रहेछ यता टोटल सिक्योर गर्यो है टोटल सिक्योर गरि हान्छ सेकेसले तर युरेनस जाँदैन त्यति पनि
And they're kind of having a hard time also dealing with the Suyo. This is a much better
ओए रेट्री हानेर खाइदिएर क्र्याबको एक्सपी है लभली लभली
utilizing that kit from Suyo, and it's really helping avoid
चाउ
some of this setup potential. Alec.
चाउ लडु ए युम्स अगाडि चाउ खेलाएर देखाइदियो है चुक्सिनले तन्यो चुक्सिनले अब छोड्दैन मातुरी लभली क्राइम वाइजले मार्यो एसआरजी
SRG are not leaving any breathing room for Alter Ego. Not even opportunities for Nino to just scout out the members, nor Yazuke to confidently use the Phantom Steed as he wants. Ijume too, he's been constantly forced to use the real world manipulation around this area, not in any way trying to set up for the objectives, because SRG have been taking control of majority of it, and this shutdown that they've been able to accomplish towards Alec is huge.
आरपी ले च्याप्ला त च्याप्छ अब त ओए च्यापिन आरपी भाग्यो लभली 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 याजुकी चेट याजुकी ओ याजुकी पनि बच्यो वान हिटमा भाग्यो याजुकी लियो मोड चाउ पनि बच्यो आलेक आम्मामामा बच्चेको यिनीहरू बाप
Alter Ego just isn't dying. What is going on here? I mean, great way to kind of avoid that, because that should have been a couple kills over to SRG. It should have converted to a turret though. So they will get something. They continue to build the lead that they have.
Yeah, this is the Alter Ego who you get to see not be as successful in terms of forcing the fights just yet. Even at that moment, the Way of the Dragon was used extensively just to make sure that they wouldn't be able to accomplish the chase towards Yazuke anymore now that Innocent is able to join the fights. However, things are looking a bit too good for SRG.
अब अर्को फाइट हाम्रो
Hard part for Alec.
2.8k, 2.9k को goal lead है SRG को.
But like, who is the right target essentially going to be over here? Especially with Stormy, you know, he's rocking the Purify, so mainly he's going to be okay. But even so, it's just been really difficult for him to actually get this kick. Oh, Alec.
Oh, Alec गयो यसपालि चाहिँ जबरजस्ती हान्यो. इभले कसले समात्यो हो. क्रामले वाइजेटले लभली घुमिरहेको. Innocent.
And that RDM just is continuously used defensively.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to really
launch an attack. तान्नु त तान्ला एकचोटी तर ख्यास्ने त केही होइन त्यही हो टोटल खायो टोटल टिड्डे टोटल एसआरजी ले खाएको छ है
It's just moments before the turtle and that everyone from SRG just gets to escape, so now they're clearly
सुयो ससुके सुसानो हान्दै गएको छ है फर्स्ट टावर हान्यो लभली युरेनसले खाला त अब खायो 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 युरेनसले खाइदियो युरेनसको गाड हान्दियो एनसमै हान्दियो है
They've just kind of shut down Alter Ego Esports' plan, and a lot of it, like I said, has been on the whims of Alec being shut down. RP
मर्ने नभने जिगे मरेकै छैन त्यो आरपी भन्नेको अहिले पनि मरेकै छैन है आरपी
these items defensively because Alec can't do it all, man. And as you just saw from Nino, if Nino gets overloaded, even on a Uranus, he's going to get taken out. So they have to go ahead and play catch up. I mean, think about it. There's been nothing fancy about this game's early game, but you're looking at a 4K gold lead for SRG. They've got a couple turrets down. They put themselves in the best position possible.
SRG त्यो अघिको दुई गेम चाहिँ हग्या हो के त मैले त्यही त भन्नु मलाई विश्वास लागेको छैन हो SRG ले त्यस्तो पिटाइगा भने के त यार कति भने कमन SRG यार यसरी चाहिँ नहारोस् भन्छ है मलाई त जो जिते नि ओके छ तर यसरी चाहिँ हार्नु भएन SRG
always gets chased down, always or SRG is just always making sure that she feels a bit more hesitant to use real world manipulation. I'm hoping they find a bit of an opening in this upcoming fight, because so far SRG, Grab starting things off all the time with the Black Dragon form just makes it impossible for them.
Nino popping the Consecrate. Arfy's still trying to hold this down. You know, they got 20 seconds for the objective to come up, and it's SRG looking for a potential pick-off or fight that they can force Alter Ego into. And just again, the nature of this game, the pacing of it, very different from the previous
अस्तिको
two.
पारा निकाल्नु पर्यो यस भाइ यस
when both teams draft
पर्यो
three bulky boys.
के भने यसरी त्यस्तो
Two
खतराहरू
tanky
यार
jungles, two bulky jungles.
युम्सको चाउ हेरौँ न यो म्याच जितोस् अनि अर्को म्याचमा फेरि युम्सको चाउ देखाओस् होइन सबैले हेरौँ न युम्सको चाउ यार
Little girl as your mage. I mean,
युम्सको चाउ यार त्यस्तो तारिफ हुन्छ उही चाउ र त्यहाँ युम्सको भेट भइरहेको छ उता एलेक र यता युम्सको अगाडिमा चाउले लात हान्दाएर ओइ सेकाइसले लड सिक्योर हान्यो ओके फाइट नपरेको लड फाइट नपरे पर्यो है लिनु युरेनसले लगार्दैछ यता तल फेरि अर्कै छुट्टै आरपी मदरफकर भित्र छिर्दिने यार आरपी पनि लास्ट हो
Nobody's going down at 6-1, and now Eno's bulky, Arfie's bulky, Graham's bulky, Innocent's bulky. Neither team has a marksman. Like, how are any of these guys going to kill any of these four heroes?
6-1 मै अड्किरहेको छ है गेम चाहिँ
I got a feeling we might be in for a long
मर्न पनि नमान्ने के यिनीहरू भाग्ने पनि त्यस्तै हान्ने पनि त्यस्तै
with that Lord making its way down bot. I don't know if Alter Ego Esports is going to be in the best position to contest
यो
this, but
मोडले
they're going to try to go for a kill on
क्र्याम
Graham.
मर्ला त सेकाइ सिर्यो भित्र त्यहाँ पर्यो 2v2 क्र्याम ओ सेकाइसले पनि क्र्याम पनि गयो ओइ क्र्याम तर काइदो बनेर भाग्दैछ ल ओए यो मोडले त्यस्तो टाढा हान्दिएको क्र्यामलाई डबल किल काइदोलाई यार भाग्दा भाग्दै धरि तानेर हान्दियो हो
But you see the targeting, right? You see who Yazuka clearly wants.
Another one for Yums.
3 men onto Yums.
Come on, Yums, oh, Yums! Not Yums! Yumsले चाउले ताक्यो अरे भने युम्सलाई त चाउको त एक थाहा छ नि चाउले एक पाइला चल्दा त्यसलाई थाहा भइसक्यो हुन्छ चाउले के गर्यो भनेर हैन त्यतिको चाहिँ छ है चाउ युम्सको चाउ
and that they only left Nino and Hijume to take care of it. So Alter Ego still have these very weird, but surprisingly working off timings for them when they decided to go for that engage. Yazuke clearly just wanted that kill on Sekai's and he found it.
अब के भएको यार आइडी चेन्ज गर्दा कोड नै लास्ट ढिला दिइरहेछ त जिमेलमा मुन्टनले हो र म मुन्टनलाई के गाली गर्नु हो सहिल इमेल गरौँ जिमेल के इमेल हान्दियो यो मुन्टनलाई मुन्टन चलाउन मन छैन क्या यिनीहरूलाई ब्यान्ड हान्दियो मुन्टनलाई
Look at this Lord advantage off of that Lord. They really didn't get that much. Which is surprising again, and maybe a big part of that is because, like you mentioned, Trex, they just don't have.
तर दुई तीनचोटि आइडी चेन्ज हानेपछि त कोड माग्दैन रहेछ नि होइन र सहिल के हो हेलो भिजाको है भिजाको नि एड चाहिँ कसलाई भिजा चाहिन्छ भने यहाँ टक्क है
heroes and setting things up around
ठुकुम्दा गाली आइडी नै चेन्ज भएको छैन ओके साहिल म मुन्टनलाई थर्काउनु पर्ने भयो हैन यो गेम सिधोस् त म मेल हान्छु तिनीहरूलाई
capitalize in a real world manipulation with Hijime, it's Yazuke to do it. And like we've seen before with the Leo Mords countless times,
आरपी त मर्नै मानेको छैन अझै पनि आरपी मर्ला त यो गेम
those fights. Just because of the way the SRG's lineup works, you see this known down too. Trinity achieved here for Innocent. I mean, Innocent has just been doing his thing, farming up 0-0-0 right now in the frame.
आइडी सेफ बनाउनलाई कोड हाल्नु पर्यो रे
He's going to be able to cop off the damage towards that background, especially on Hijime if he goes here. So the fight for this Lord starting up. Again, a little bit of an awkward positioning for both teams to try to execute.
Whether or not Alec does find the right opening too, and how are they gonna link up together? Oh,
Lord
this
fight
is the
कस्तो पर्ला त यहाँ छिरो जोन हान्दैछ है काइदो गयो त्यो जोन हान्नलाई अड्केर चाहिँ याजुकी का याजुकी त खाइहाल्यो सेकाइसले हानिदिइसक्यो त्यो याजुकी आउनु अगाडि नै अब यहाँ पर्यो ग्याङ ब्याङ माथि आले चाउ चाउ लो हुँदैछ हान्दैछ चाउ गयो फ्रेयाले च्याप्दियो युम्स हाम्रो हिल्दा हिल्दा इभले अल्टी इभले उताबाट अल्टी हान्दियो युम्सलाई च्यापिरहेछ युम्सलाई खाइदियो युम्सलाई क्र्याम काइदो 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 खै काइदो काइदो स्टोरमा यताबाट चाहिँ हान्दियो काइदो बचिरहेछ हाम्रो निनो 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 युरेनसले तानेर हान्दियो झुक्सिनले तानेको तानेको झन्डै भाग्यो युरेनस आम्मामा आरपी 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 अझै बचिरहेछ अझै मर्न माने ओ तर झुक्सिन झुक्सिन त्यही भएर लामो झुक्सिन बिहान हान्नुपर्छ कि लामो झुक्सिन यस्तो गीत छ नि वाइप आउट भएको थियो आलेक आउनु भ्याएछ यसमा सिधाउला त सिधाउने चान्सेस त छ है सिद्धाउने चान्सेस छ विनिङ मोमेन्ट एसआरजी लेट्स गो जित्यो है एसआरजी जित्यो
And get one step closer to evening the score.
लभली म्याच कन यतिको गेम भएन भने त लामो मजै आएन नि होइन विगत भाइ लामो 3-0 सिध्यो भने के मजा आउँथ्यो यो गेम 3-0 सिधेको भए त मुसी हामी फिफा हात जान्थ्यो अहिले होइन विगत भाइ तर त्यस्तो होइन नि त हामीलाई मुसी गेममा मुसी स्वाद चाहियो कि स्वाद लामो जो जित्यो नि लभली है लभली विगत दाइले एक एसआरजी भनेको लामो सही भयो है विगत दाइको आशीर्वादले केटाहरूले जित्यो आरपी यो 3 गेममा भर्खर एकचोटि मर्यो यार साफिल एकचोटि मर्यो कि आरपी पागल रहेछ आरपी बल्ल मुजीहरूको सासले युम्सको चाउ हेर्नु पर्यो कि आज युम्सको चाउ है गाइस युम्सको चाउहरू चाहिरहेछ अब अल्टर इगोले जितिहाल्यो त घर जान्छ नि त तर हामी एकचोटि युम्सको एकचोटि लास्ट एक चाउ हेर्यौँ फाइनलमा पनि देख्न पाए नि सही हो तर नि युम्सको चाउ यो फाइटमा नि तर है त्यो क्राम हाम्रो वाइजेट युजङ बचेको है बच्या हो है मथुरी लभली थियो झुक्सिन के झुक्सिन लामो मुजी झुक्सिन यार पागल हिरो के नाइ भन्ने गरी यता आइछि मुजी भन्दै तान्दै हान्छ हो बबाल हान्छ त्यही त साहिल युम्सको चाउ हेर्नै पर्यो भने कि होइन जो जिते नि बाल त होइन तर गेम त्यही विगत दाइ होइन स्वाद हुनु पर्यो कि लामो 3-0 भएर हामीलाई के मजा आउँछ र यसमा 1-2 भयो ओके छ अर्का स्पाइस अब अर्को एसआरजीलाई पनि अझै त्यो आशा आएको छ नि त होइन तर अर्को गेम पनि एसआरजीले जितोस् यार 2-2 होस् न होइन फाइनल परोस् न म पुरै बेस्ट अफ फाइट जस्तो होस् न परेन
Now it makes all sense. Now, when we said that the focus should be on the mid trio on the side of SRG, we did see it. They were phenomenal in the first few minutes of the game. They got the turtle, and then they got the perfect turtle afterwards. 3 turtles in their favor. It looks like there were some dicey times, but the lead that SRG was able to build from the early game was too good for them to close out the game.
I can put into a simple term briefly what SRG did well to deny Alter Ego here the momentum and the eventual sweep. They denied on the box. This lineup by SRG is just so well at more than just invading, but also by tearing apart whatever formation of fighting Alter Ego wants to do. Alright, come in, Alec. Come in. You're dead. And that's why our caster said, I don't think Alec's going to be playing the show anymore. That's not it. It's not that Alec played bad. It's just that SRG dismantled whatever step-by-step process Alter Ego wanted to do. Not to mention the Suyo. The Suyo and the Yuzhong are super slippery. So when you think that the Esmeralda on Murphy and the Leomord on Yasuke could get a final bead on shredding through SRG, this was not going to have any of it. SRG, I love it. This is the equation they were looking for.
They were playing well. And even when we saw
MVP,
movements coming out from Alter Ego where they are poised to actually take back the game for themselves. Stormy was
त्यही झुक्सिनले हो कि गेम चेन्ज गरेर त्यो लास्ट फाइट मैले वाइजेट गयो भन्दाखेरि झुक्सिनले ताने हो कि त्यहाँ माथुरी कसले पो हान्न बेन
It is great versus the Leomord in general.
Yeah, I feel like looking back, with the trade that Alter Ego decided to go for, them picking up the Uranus, I know that you needed like a stalwart presence to just like hold, but then Alter Ego just doubled down on, okay, let's make sure that Yasuke is just the center of this entire damn lineup. All the pressure on him. RP just needs to try and manage it. Yes, but ultimately SRG controlled the aggression and rotation of the members of Alter Ego. Specifically that show, as we've been mentioning, we put so much focus on the side lanes. The side lanes were already solved in the draft. Freya didn't end up in RP's hands anymore, so they don't have the Freya and Leomord comfort that they're relying on. And without that comfort, you notice how differently they play. But SRG needs to be credited. Their discipline was good in this one.
That's what I want to say as well, because the way that they are handling their lead is so good. Even when they are always go for something else, they just go back, dial back a little bit, and then fight once again. It's as if they're also fighting like they were the sustained team. And look at this. Look at what Grump was able to do. He did not deny the way of the dragon itself, but he denied the damage dealers in the backlines. And I think Grump was just spot on when it comes to his targeting in here, as well as his timing that actually prevented any kind of move from Alter Ego.
So even in these small wins, right, this is a fight wherein Alter Ego would uncharacteristically randomly win, is because they found a box.
Yep.
They chanced upon a box in the top lane, but eventually you see here, there's a fight closer to the end. Even if Hijume did get a good real-world manipulation, you'll see how they couldn't fight inside of it as well.
They cannot box SRG in place. They can probably set it up, but they get unboxed afterwards. And I think this is much credit to the Yuzhong, the way that he plays, and of course the guys being that sleeper, being a target essentially, inviting the members of Alter Ego Esports to commit on him.
And he was such a slippery target. That's one of the main strengths of a Suyo. This is what he was known for when he was big in M6 about a year ago. That was before his change, before his major nerf. When you're in the immortal form, you have damage reduction for both physical and magical. But now, it's just physical. But look at Alter Ego. Where is the magic damage coming from? It's just mainly the Eve from Hijume. Everyone else has to get in your face to deal that magic damage. Nino and Arfi. I think this Suyo pick is one of the few times where you could say, that's safe.
Yeah.
The guy's good on you.
Yeah, and with the nature of the main magic damage dealers of Alter Ego, sans the Eve, we're looking at the Uranus and the Esmeralda, it makes Stormy's item build all the more interesting.
6,000 को मात्र गोल लीड है लास्टमा पनि त्यस्तो तर लभली 12 किल र 4 किल मात्र त्यस्तो धेरै पनि छैन अघि जस्तो 28 हैन त्यस्तो अन्त लभली जस्ट गेम राख्यो
Crimson Beacon away, and I'm ground controlling you. Great itemization by Stormy.
Alter Ego, they did go for an interesting draft, which I personally like. The way that they drafted Leomord with the Uranus. I think it was great as their first two picks, and then eventually answering with the Esmeralda to go up against this Jushin as well as this Hilda. I think that was a really good start for Alter Ego Esports. However, in the end, when it comes to execution, it takes a lot of time. And I'm sure that if they bought enough time for this Esmeralda as well as this Uranus to be, unkillable, maybe the times will change. However, the fact that they have lost the first two turtles and then eventually the third, that is why they cannot find their openings.
All right, last question before we head on over to a quick interview. Was this a better draft by SRG or better execution by SRG?
Both.
Okay.
For both.
So SRG just delivered the job perfectly from draft to execution to force another game to move forward. Alter Ego are still at match point, but it's time to move on over to the floor with Rose as they have an interview with Yanet.
अब ल म यसमा म भोइस ओभर हाल्छु गाइड्स अब यहाँ भोइस ओभर हाल्ने है भोइस ओभर है मेज वाले सिप आइदिने ग्याङ आउँदा यार मेजले फरक पार्छ यार दाइ यसमा यिनीहरूले देखाउँछ कि जुन चाहिँ इभ थिएन दाइ इभले पनि यस्तो डेन्जर फरक पार्छ नि दाइ अब है त एकछिन है को यो येनेट नाम चाहिँ सुने नाम है येनेट भन्ने मैले
Alright, you're a content creator from Malaysia. Yen, let's talk a little bit about the game, okay?
Okay.
We know that Alter Ego managed to clinch a 2-0
voice over हाल्नु भने इंग्लिश बोल्दियो हो मैले आफ्नो भाषा बोल्ला महरु म voice over हाल्दिन्छु
How do you feel knowing that SRG didn't allow AE to close off the game just like that?
Okay. Soalannya apa tadi? Last.
Okay, kita ulang sekali, okay? Tadi Alter Ego sudah leading 2-0, betul? Tapi SRG dapat comeback, dapatlah 1 point.
Betul.
Apa perasaan sebagai viewer, sebagai audience dekat sini yang nampak SRG dapat
खतरा परिरहेको छ होइन अलरेडी 2 छ एसआरजीले 1 खोजी छ अब मलाई त लौडा फरक पर्दैन घन्टै पर्नु म त यहाँ अब चिक्सहरू हेर्न आएको हो अब हल्का भिडियो सिडियो खिच्ने हाल्ने हो मुजी मेरो मुजी युट्युब च्यानलमा हाल्ने हो पैसा कमाउने हो यो एमजी हो एम7 को केटीहरूको मैले दामी दामी फोटोहरू खिचेको छु अब हाल्ने हो भित्र ड्याममा लगाएर हो ल
He's actually very proud, and initially he thought it would be a 3-0, and the tragedy that happened back at home in M6 would eventually repeat itself, but fortunately for the side of SRG, history did not repeat itself. Now, speaking about history, SRG was in this exact same position in the lower bracket finals just last year, back at home in Malaysia, and at that time they had the whole crowd cheering for them. This time around, however, the roles are reversed, in which Alter Ego has the home ground buff. Do you think SRG is already used to these kind of pressure?
I think kita dekat sini.
मलाई घन्टै फरक पर्दैन मैले भनिरहेको छु त हो म त केटीहरू हेर्न अब च्वाक च्वाक छ हो इन्डोनेसियामा मलेसियामा त्यस्तो केटी हुँदैन मुख छोपेर हिँड्छ हो हाम्रोतिर त यता त आम्मामा यस्तो गोरी सोरीहरू आम्मामा कस्तो राम्रो हो
Statement in the arena. So guys, this is what he said. Okay, his words, once again, not mine. This is what he said.
Minta maaf ya.
म पनि भन्छु फेरि भन्छु
Okay, he said that he thinks that SRG should have been more focused here because they don't have the home ground cheering for them, which actually adds more pressure. He also said that back then in M6, TLID sent SRG home. So this time it's SRG's time to send Alter Ego home. And then he also added that he's very sorry and please don't find him and all that kind of stuff. Just joking. Okay, Yen, I told you to behave.
Just joking,
Let's talk about this. In order to equalize the point to a 2-2, what do you think SRG boys, the coaches, what do they have to do?
Tamil movie जस्तै भयो त
Ben Freya or Big Freya? Straight to the point.
Freya menang sudah.
Freyaलाई पनि हानिदिन्छु मैले त पायो भने
Big Freya, you guys will win. Very straight to the point. So you think Freya is the problem?
Yeah, Freya is the problem. And don't use Batsia.
And don't use Baxia.
तर यो तर हैन अघिदेखि तिनटै गेममा फ्रेयाले है ए लड चुलक कत्रो हत्ता गरे हो यो
chaotic interviews here in M7 and I love it. Now back at home we know that we have a very big M7 watch party. I'm pretty sure the Malaysians are back at home supporting us. Is there anything you want to say to the SRG fans and of course the Malaysians watching?
Okay, buat fan SRG yang ada kat rumah, yang tengah tengok kat rumah, yang tengah tengok kat phone, yang tengok kat TV, kita doakan yang terbaik untuk SRG menang and masuk ke grand final esok.
He said to all the Malaysians who are supporting SRG in their journey, wherever you may be watching from, your phone, your TV, wherever it is, let us pray for the best and hope that SRG clinches that last lucky grand finals. You know what, Ken, as we wrap this up, I want you to lead a cheer. I want you to let the boys feel the Malaysian hospitality. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right,
wait.
Oh, okay.
Mak, saya masuk TV.
He said, hi mom, I'm into TV. Okay, go.
मैले बुझिसकेको थियो हो त्यसले त्यस्तो भनेको
SRG ho! SRG ho!
ओइ एसआरजीलाई हो भन्छ त कोही फुक्छ त लामो त अब त
All right, guys, and there you have it. Will Alter Ego be able to close this series in a 3-1, or will Selangor Red Giants be able to equalize this score? Only time will tell. With that, let's throw it back to the panel.
Thank you, Yen. Our man Yen was listening to the panel. See, it's so simple. Ban or pick Freya, then just don't play Baksha anymore, right? Then you win. And you win.
And that's what we saw from SRG in game number 2. And I think that everybody's alive. Even the chat with our group chat with the Malaysian talents, they're alive again. And it's mainly because they trust that this should be the idea when facing up against Alter Ego. There are times when your opponent just needs so much
specific एकचोटि त म गिटार सितार ल्याएर बजाउन आएको भने स्टेजमा सक्छ यसलाई एमपिएलमा पनि अब हाम्रो यता भितेरले सो गरे जस्तो के दाइ त्यसरी आथ्यो त्यताको आर्टिस्टहरू अनि यो मुजी चाहिँ गिटार बोकेर त्यहाँ आएर थियो नि यो राइटको पनि हुन्थ्यो यो मिडको लागि पनि देखिनै रह हुन्थ्यो मिडको तर यो राइटको र मलाई लेफ्टको चाहिँ मजाले चिन्छु यिनीहरूलाई देखिरहेको छु नि फेसहरू है
Just get the Patrick skin. It's the best skin in the game. Why did it zoom in on me when we're highlighting Patrick? Are you trying to tell me something? Blue Patrick is now available. Don't miss it. Who was it that made the brave and
possibly correct call saying this is the best skin in the game right now. Because I agree. It is. I think there's nothing
राम्रो
comes
छ
close to
त्यो
it.
त हुन त
And I
है
have to thank Alter
राम्रो छ
Ego as
प्याट्रिकको
well for
ब्लूलाई
giving us that position 5 or roam, roam glue, because that means that Patrick can now be used in at least 2 lanes.
हो दुईटा नाम पनि हो हुन गइसक्यो मैले अघि प्याट्रिक प्याट्रिक भन्न सकेँ है
level 45 and go one
ल
pass
ल
to
ल
unlock the Yuzhong.
म हल्का रुदा लिएर आउँछु है दाइ दाइ पनि थप्दै गर्नु म पनि रुदा लिएर आउँछु एक पिस पनि हानेर आउनु पर्यो है सबैहरू बस्दै गरौँ म आइहालेँ
And reach level 75 to unlock Yuzhong's prime skin, Cosmic Dragon. And hey, while you're looking good playing Magic Chess Go-Go, don't forget that we also have the Magic Chess Go-Go World Championship coming up. That's the Go-1. This is the first World Championship of MCGG, and that's exactly what it sounds like in-game when you open it. On January 25th, the game day, the same day as the M7 finals, the Go-1 finals will be held at the M7 Carnival. A vast amount of watching prizes will be given out. Follow the official channels for the latest information, and let's jointly witness the birth of the first world champion of MCGG. Let's go back to MLBB as we talk about game number 4. It was blue side SRG Alter Ego, red side. I think we're gonna switch things up, which means the previous blue side game, or excuse me, red side game that SRG played and Alter Ego was on blue side. The priority was Sora, Esmeralda, Farsa as the bans for Alter Ego. This is going to look so much more different in the draft now for SRG. Grog, Juicin, Fanny. The thing is, they don't need to touch the Freya anymore. Either the Leomord or Freya is going to end up with him, but I think it's really just the Freya. It's not just the Leomord anymore, it's really the Freya.
And I'm sure that there is something that Alter Ego Esports has prepared for. Obviously, they are not just running the Leomord with the Freya. For sure that there will be another hero that they can bring up.
Yes.
They are the ones who brought Suyo, right?
Yeah, they're the one that first played Suyo, if I'm not mistaken. At least they did the Suyo in Chip.
Yeah, that's what I can fairly remember them picking the other day. Up against Team Spirit.
That's right. It was a very fast game, 12 minutes.
It worked wonders for them as well. So, I kind of agree with you, Redmar. If in this scenario where you will eventually have a chance to first pick either Leomord or Freya, Freya might be the option because if, in case the Leomord is picked up from the other side, you can just go Hilda afterwards if you don't ban the Esmeralda. If they don't pick up Hilda with the Leomord, what will happen is they will not have a chance to get the mid laner as well. So, yep, Freya, actually, pretty good first pick.
Yeah. For 10 games today, or more like 9 so far, going into game 4 of this series, Freya has been the linchpin. She is the anchor being of this series.
For good reasons as well. I think that teams have figured out how to use it, especially because some of the emblems were also buffed, and it's actually really good against some of the other meta heroes. It's gonna be Flying Clouds and the band Sora. Grok, Fanny, and Jushin. This is what, Alter Ego really poising to first pick that Freya.
Yeah. I wonder if they're willing to pull the trigger and if SRG are ready for it. Grok, Fanny, Jushin has been the consistent bans against Alter Ego today. Not just this year, today.
First year of our Lord, 2026. The World of Mobile Legends in the biggest tournament, most competitive M series of that, lower bracket finals, a day where SRG, Alter Ego, as well as the Team Liquid played, it's Freya, which is the linchpin of the draft.
Yep, they just changed the order, but it's technically still Grok, and Fanny. I've already written down. I'm assuming that Red 3 is Fanny.
If the Fanny is picked up, would you think that SRG will eventually pick it up? I think there's a world where they actually do that.
Yeah.
There's the Kalea ban. Alright, so Jushin was banned. If this is Fanny and not Freya, first pick for Alter Ego will 100% be Arfi's hero.
Yeah, get either that Claude or the Leomord. Claude or the Freya. But if I'm SRG, I think I'm willing to ban the Freya. At this point, you really have to acknowledge the sheer audacity of the pick.
Yep.
Or the lack of banning. Yeah. If they let it through.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so beneficial, right? Because they can also pick the Fanny third pick if it actually comes to that. But they might be also scared about the Fanny for Alter Ego. Finally!
There you go. Respect.
Respect.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild.
The meta game is cracked open.
It is. But the Claude is left open for Alter Ego to take.
Yeah, and Harvey's a pretty damn good Claude.
That's right.
He can just let all SRG, if the Claude ends up going to the hands of Alter Ego, they can't be distracted of whatever's in the jungle. They need to pressure the gold lane. Because if Arfi can farm and then AE can win. I think that's the best way to put it. If he can farm, they can win.
Now that Farsa was the first pick for Alter Ego, SRG can actually snatch that pick. Pick up the Hilda to go with it. I think Claude Hilda is such a good opener for SRG. If in case Leomord or Fanny is the pickup for Alter Ego, at least they will have a good opener already.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
want that control, they want that aggression. I think Alter Ego might end up with a high loss later on, considering just how good they play it together. The high loss of Farsa. It's a great unboxing hero.
Hello.
And it is Claude.
Esmeralda र कलिया बिहान हानेको छ अल्टर इगोले
They might not pick up the Leomord anymore.
एसआरजीले फ्रेया झुक्सिन र ग्रक
They might be showing off with the Fanny in case they will pick that up.
फार्सा पिक हान्यो उताबाट फेरि हिल्दा फेरि युम्से हिल्दा खेल्ने भयो है फोर्थ गेममा पनि हिल्दै खेल्यो.
How crazy would it be if they go Uranus here in blue 2-3 and then find a way to flex it into the jungle for 4-5?
That's not crazy at all.
त्यो मलाई भगाले मुत्या माल पानी राखेको रहेछ.
It's not overcooked.
त्यो अघिको हो है त्यो अघिको यति थियो.
Never mind.
There you go.
Not bad.
I thought they wouldn't be willing to play
Not
considering that
bad.
they have Hilda on the
Femi.
other side, but Alter Ego, one thing about them, they love their comfort.
They love their comforts. Yeah, for SRG. Want to go for the Eve now? Or maybe Valentina. Valentina looks good right now because I'm pretty sure that we will be banned out if SRG does not pick that up right now.
Lunox is also available.
But there's no good Lunox target so far.
Not yet. Nothing to shred. Yeah.
Nothing to shred yet. Fanny will just outrun that Lunox eventually. The Creature just gun him down. I think you're better off with the Valentina if you're SRG. Or perhaps the Uranus.
Drop the beat of the flag. Your team.
Joy Claude. Okay.
They will match fire with fire. They want aggression, and it makes sense. You're looking at the Farsa and the Granger. SRG, instead of looking directly at the Fanny, they thought, wait, we already have the Hilda, that's fine. We have to deal with the jungle first. We have to deal with the mid lane and the gold laner first, I mean. Pick up the join now. I didn't expect it, but I respect the game.
I would say it's risky at this point. Although, so far, what they can do is to ban out the anti-Joy heroes from the roam role.
Yeah.
Maybe a Cho, maybe a Tigreal if it comes to that.
Even the ENG lanes, they might have to consider banning out the Phobius, but they might even pick it up for themselves.
There's a role that only very specifically Alec uses. Did well against the Hilda earlier in the series.
Alter Ego identifies the Phobius can be a red 4 pick.
Yeah.
To ban it out. Obviously, Fanny hates playing up against that hero.
Yeah. How crazy would it be if SRG has their own swerve of their own and then suddenly flex the Hilda into the EXP, then they pick up a Badang and roam?
Yeah, but that actually works. Great first Farsa. Stellar against Fanny. That is a valid pickup. And you know what? Even Crab can play it.
Yeah, XP Badang also.
If it comes to that.
Yeah, we're leaning a little bit more towards the crazier ideas of what to expect. But the Uranus, I think, was brought up earlier.
Good
synergy with their heroes. It provides them that sponge in the front lines. It will allow them to take the objectives much more comfortable. Especially because the Esmeralda Phobius, as well as this Alice Bandout, I don't think that there will be more choices here for Cram.
What's left?
I don't know.
Badang, Lapu-Lapu.
Badang, Lapu-Lapu.
Uranus.
Like, just go for it though. That means that, yeah, you will have the perfect hero. You can still manage to have this flex on your Hilda as well.
Yeah. So you keep the mystery.
Keep the mystery. Valentina. Oh, well, okay. As expected, I mean.
Yeah, honest.
we're honest. Alter Ego, what is your spread now?
They don't have the damage anymore. It's Roman EXP they're playing for.
That's right.
So they're looking for management, not shred. Oh man, are they...
Franco?
I wouldn't mind suppressed. If they could go something like a Kaja or a Franco over the Cho, that would not be too crazy. High loss also still works in the sense that you just have that quick stun to dish on the Claude or the Joy.
Yep. If they pick up the Badang, what would be... Yeah, I can't think of any other good XP here.
There's the high loss.
Pick up that, just pick up the high.
What's in XP?
That is Ruby.
Oh, wait. Anti-Joy.
चाउ लिँदैन दाइ यता हिल्ला लिइसक्यो चाउ हेर्न पाउँदैन यसपालि पनि सरी ल
So much. Yeah. I think it's really good for SRG now. Just so good against the heroes of Alter Ego. You don't want to go for the Valentina anymore.
Yep. It's a winning matchup.
You want to pick up the Lunox now.
I hope they're not thinking about something like a Kagura.
Kagura will not be effective at all.
Yeah, please don't.
I think the worst is Zetian. I mean, not the worst, but one of the choices. I mean,
so Zet or Lunox? It's a choice of all time.
It's a choice of all time.
They played more Zet than Lunox.
Or Odette if they're crazy. Lilia. I don't necessarily like it. I think Fanny kind of likes playing against Lilia amongst
their little interaction. On one side, you force out the black shoes, and you have the black shoes to survive. On the other side, Ruby and Hylos are not happy about it.
Yeah. But then again, you know what? Break it is casting. We're going to a game 5 for sure. I think this is SRG going in for game number 4.
Ruby, Fanny, Farsa, Hilos, Granger है लिलियाले है म जतिको चाहिँ लिलिया हान्दैन है एक्सपेक्ट धेरै नगरौँ है गाइस लिलियामा लिलिया गामुले जति चाहिँ कसरी हान्न सक्दैन है.
Will we go to game number 5? For me, I'm leaning a bit Alter Ego. I don't know why, there's just something in the air. Maybe I'm just getting convinced by the crowd. Well, we have one more game. Let's see if this is going to be it or if we're going to go all the way. Nice to Trex and bring it up to tell the story.
I'll tell you what's in the air. It's a Fanny. And that might be one of the integral parts to make this draft work if they want to end it here for Alter Ego. Can SRG extend the series? Well, they've got an interesting draft to possibly make that happen. This is, again, very different from what we saw in the last series and then in the last couple of games, but it could work here.
Yep, and we're seeing Nino on another hero pick. It's going to be the Ruby in his hands this time. But I think going back to the entire conversation where we left off, or where the panelists left off about the Lilia, it's... there could be a lot of arguments regarding or surrounding this hero. Because if you were to look at the lineup of Alter Ego Esports, even in terms of range, right? Hijume, I could really expect the burst damage to come through, the constant pokes to at least big Stormy. And the range coupled with the Ranger, I feel like could deal with a lot of the pressure that Stormy could do. But that doesn't take away the fact that he could pose a threat towards the front lines between the Alec and Nino.
यो अस्ति भर्खर नयाँ है अस्ति भर्खरै 1 week पनि भएको छैन होला यो नयाँ हो.
We also get in game 4 of these more aggressive, faster paced junglers that are going to be picked up. The only thing is for Yanzuke, he's got to be, he's got to be a little more careful of how, like, not getting behind, purple buff.
लिलियाले त के हो लिलियाको एम्ब्लेम त अर्कै छ त
now for Innocent, rolling with his tenacity,
यो एम्ब्लेममा हेरौँ न त
a little more durability on this clock because of the fact that also, you have
स्टोर्मीले हान्नु पर्यो है मैले लिलिया सिकाएको खेल्नु पर्यो के स्टोर्मीले अब.
Yeah, I think even for myself here, I didn't expect the Lilia to come through this draft. I was almost expecting the Lunox there,
लिलियाले त सेक्छ नि हिलोसलाई पनि सेक्छ तर होइन तर हुन त हिलोस ओइ युम्स होइन होला युम्स मेरो मोटे भाइले हान्दियो.
Okay, yeah, I guess one way around it could be when Stormy feels confident enough to just keep throwing out the glooms and then using the black shoes to get out, and then there's
मगीदेखि हो नि दिगो दाइ मगी उता हिजो हाम्रो दिवाली थियो के दाइ हाम्रो दिवाली थियो हिजो अनि त्यो हिजो पनि त्यही गएको थिएँ हिजो चाहिँ धेरै सेकेर टिप्सी अनि आज पनि लास्टको हुन्छ क्या हाम्रो त्यो दिवालीको अनि आज पनि त्यो मिट अफ टाइप्स हुन्छ त्यहाँ अनि त्यहाँ पनि आज पनि भोजन म त्यहीँ गएर हो क्या आज नि अनि त्यहाँ पनि हल्का आज पनि हानेर टिप्सी भएर होइन अनि पुगेन आज चाहिँ हामीले भनेर बसिरहेको थिएँ म
that's something that SRG
तर
is going to
भएन
be a
युम्स
wary
यार
of.
हाम्रो
The
मोटे भयो
scaling
यार
that can happen
यो
here for
टाइम टाइममा
Yasuke.
तल
No
देखाइरहेको छ नि त मान्छेहरू त्यो मोटे ए ऊ युम्स 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 मोटे हाम्रो मोटे भाइ क्युट भाइ
And it has been able to snowball some of these lineups, some of these compositions, and get wins pretty quickly. And so for SRG, they've got to be cautious of that. And I think, again, this lineup does allow them to... On a Uranus! That's what I was talking about, man.
त्यो के हो भने होइन होला एनोसले सिक्दै भने
Yeah.
Oh, the Fanny!
The amount of hold you see from Alter Ego works so well for them. It buys enough time for heroes like or players like Yasuke to actually dish out the damage. But on the other hand, SRG, who could you actually expect to hold down Yasuke? Because I feel like this is another recurring problem that we see constantly in the previous games. It was once a problem for RP on the Freya, now it's not. It's a Fanny
जित्नै
on
पर्यो यो
Yasuke.
गेम त झन्
The
जित्नै
table's
पर्यो
gone.
किनकि 2-2 हुन्छ नि त त्यसपछि 50-50 को हुन्छ त्यो त्यहाँ हुन्छ स्वाद आउने मातुरी त्यो लास्ट फाइनल गेम लभली लभली युम्सले सेक्यो सेक्यो फ्यानी एक किल उठायो है एसआरजीले एक किल उठाएको छ लभली लभली युम्सले हान्यो फ्यानीलाई बदला
Maybe just get some information. I don't think he actually meant to go for a steal in the purple.
He did miss a couple cables before
He missed
that.
the cables, and now this is what I'm talking about. The pressure on his purple
blue
buff
कसले खायो
for
त
him not to get it.
ब्लू कसले खायो बुल्लु बुल्लु बुल्लु
It's a
बुल्लु
sky.
चोर्यो है लभली लभली जोइले खाएर हिँड्दिएको छ बुल्लु
You know, this is the, I guess, the risk reward, right, of picking up the Fanny. You miss a couple cables early on, too. That's going to set you back a bit, but...
युम्सले 4 गेममै हिल्दा हान्यो ओए लिल्या लिल्याले बेजत गर्यो भने त मैले पो सिकाएको हो त लिल्या मातुरी जोइ फर्म आउँदैछ यस आदि मानव बचेको रे भने
Yeah.
करेम ओ हिजो नि त्यो गोल ओ त्यो मिडलेन चेप्दियो युरानस ओए फ्यानीले गाड हान्यो युरानसको एनएसमा हान्यो युरानस 1-1 भइदिएर त्यो फाइटमा लभली आदि मानवको गाड हान्यो दाइ
Not sure if that was actually necessary either, but that's what's happening, right? They're trading objectives. They're getting kills, and a lot of that damage that's coming out from Yasuke he's got the bladed Hepsies. He's got to make sure he locks in his buff. He needs to be able to get that point, and
SRG आउँदैछ फर्ममा है फर्ममा चाहिँ त्यो स्टोरमीले मैले त्यति छिटोमा अल्टी हान्नु पर्दैन थियो कि लिल्याको मैले त्यही हो सिकाएको त्यसलाई मुझे अहिले म मेसेज गर्छु लामो बेलुका मुझी जहिले गामो 69 को लाइभमा आइज मुझी लिल्याको सर खेल्ने भनेछ हैन परेन मातुरी त्यति छिटो चाहिँ अल्टी हान्नु पर्दैन थियो कि त्यो फार्सको अल्टीमा
advantage, and so far they're actually making it work. There's been team fight participation for Innocent here, 2 out of 3 kills. He's a level ahead of RP, and he hasn't been caught by Yasuke. That was the
एसआरजी जित्नै पर्यो है यो म्याच चाहिँ एसआरजी जित्नै पर्छ अनि त्यो फाइनल गेममा बरु टक्कर होस्
I guess it was a
स्वाद
miscalculation on
आओस्
his part
बस
because he already missed a couple cables. He did
युम्सको
lack the
चाउ
speed,
हेर्न पाओस्
walked away
है
from the threat of 3 members of SRG, but he did, and now he is starting to feel the pressure from SRG just the same. RP already losing his tier 1 turret allows for so much room for SRG to group up together, and that's what you don't want if you're
फ्लाइङ क्लाउड ओके यो पनि यादै नगरेर आम्मा पर्यो नि हैन दाइ त्यही
Nino's Ruby pick might play a part of these objectives.
युम्सको चाउ हेर्ने भनेर कतिजना बसिरहेछ होला के त्यहाँ आज ओइ क्र्याप ओइ एनोस ओइ एनोसको फेरि गाड हान्न लाग्यो भने नाम पो युरानस हो त मुसी युरानस भनेर गाड हान्ने त मिलेन नि यार जहिले पनि युरानस कमन युरानस गयो युरानस बिल्ड बन्न दिएन एनोसको यस्तो मा सेक्छ युरानसले कुटाइ खाइ सेक्छ मातुरी
And it does that. Now Turtle's up. This might be actually a turtle that can be contested and secured up by Alter Ego Esports. For SRG, they're still going to maintain most of this. Again, for Innocent, to continue to build up, he's going to be fine. Yums will go ahead and rotate down for this. As they do want to fight for this last
निनोले कस्तो हान्न खोज्यो हो रुबीलाई रुबी सो रुबी गयो युम्स लभली अरे ओइ त्यो आदि माधवलाई ओइ फार्सको अल्टी क्यान्सल लभली ओइ लभली क्र्याम युरानस जो मुजी आदि मानवको गाड हान्न आदि मानवको गाड हान्न मातुरी ओइ फनी ओइ फनी फाड फनीको गाड फाड Stormy. Jonan. Fanny त आउँछ है Fanny आउँछ तर टटल सिक्योर भयो टटल सिक्योर हो.
No one expected that entry from Sakai.
Lovely.
Or maybe not
त्यसो
even that
युरेनसको
entry
ह्याक
from
नै
Grab when
आउँदैन
he did
रहेछ
get to
म
finish off the kill
सिकाउँछु
on
ओके
Jume
दाइ
until that 2-1. So
त्यही भने दाइ
going
बेलुका
towards
गाउँ 69 को लाइभमा आउनु पर्यो भाइहरू
too deep,
हैन दाइ
trying to set up somehow for that upcoming objective right there. But when it gets a bit too split up, especially in scenarios
यो
like
खनी त
this,
के हो
where they
सेकाइसले पो ताक्छ त
don't
जोइलाई
need to maximize the amount of lockdowns you have, then it's not going to be as easy for Yazuke either.
Yeah, Cram doing work on the
आयो रेड आयो है
finding the right targets,
जोइको
pushing them
रेड
away
आएको
from
छ
the fights that are breaking out, and
पुस हुँदैछ
that's
लेन
part
हल्का
of
हल्का है तल
the
माथि
plan for
माथि तल
SRG. They continue to do that. Malefic Roar picked up here now for Yuzuke, so he's been able to do a lot of damage just with the Blade of Hepsies. Now that he's got a Malefic Roar, that's great for him to build into, but also at the same time,
युम्सले देखाउँदैछ है अलिअलि हिल्दाको पनि देखायो अघि यो फर्स्ट दुई गेम त पातै भयो युम्सै देखेन है फर्स्ट दुई गेम त
Yazuke just kind of weaves in and out, popping off tons of damage, and then Arfi scales up and is able to capitalize on him or Hijime.
आदिमानव आदिमानव
Interesting though. I feel like majority of the
आदिमानवको
attention
गाँड फाड
from
गरौ
Alter
बेल
Ego has
छिटो
been towards
जोइ जोइ
Gravity.
कम अन जोइ हिल हान्दै भागिरा रहेछ हो आदिमानव त रिभाइटल ओए हेल्थ बढेको चाहिँ आदिमानवको कत्रो फार्साले अल्टी त को खस्यो त्यहाँ सेकिसलाई हान्दियो सेकिस जोइ मर्यो तर केसँग टटल आउनु टाइम त छ 5-5 है 5-5 उल्टै जोइले सेक दिइरा यार
But the problem is, again, if they get punished like that and then they start to give over stacks, now Malefic Roar 2 for Arfi, you're going to put yourself in a bad position very quickly. This is not a massive lead or anything that they're working with. And Lord's up in about 10 seconds. You can start to see our Alter Ego start to put some pressure on some of these tier 1 turrets. They want to open up the map before these objectives.
Something that's been huge for Alter Ego,
give it
send Yasuke up to the XP lane, giving Nino the ability to be part of these fights. Because like you said, Nino's going to be huge in a lot of places. He's the one who can catch them off guard when someone tries to dive.
अब पर्छ अब एउटा फाइट यहाँ डेन्जर पर्छ है स्योर फार्साको अल्टी गयो लिलियाको पनि अल्टी सिक्यो लडे फर्को इनोसेन्ट यहाँ अब कसको अल्टी छैन यहाँ अब फार्साको हिलोसको रुबीको अल्टी छैन है अब यताबाट हिल्दाको र युरानस र लिलियाको अल्टी छैन लिलियाको त अल्टी आउँदै होला
SRG, and now they are not going to be able to contest this quickly.
फार्साको अल्टी आयो
make a move on Stormy because they knew the
लिलियाको नि अल्टी आयो युरानसको पनि अल्टी आयो
Purify, but it's back up. Either team wanting to commit to Lord just yet, and they don't really have the space to work with. They want to go ahead and get what they can.
अब पर्छ यहाँ लडमा
Very close. It's a very
अब पर्छ अब
close game right now.
सबले अल्टी बोक्यो है पापन अल्टी यताबाट हिलोस र हिलोसको आयो अल्टी आयो फार्साको थिएन फार्साको पनि आउँदै होला 10 अन्डर 10 सेकेन्डमा आउँछ होला फार्साको नि अब इनोसेन्टले हान्दैछ लौडेले लौडे भने फेरि क्लड है मान्छे लौडे होइन क्लड ओइ 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 के भयो हुँदैछ फार्साले चाहिँ पहिला फार्साले लभली ओए आजुकीले इनोसेन्टलाई च्याप्यो फ्यानीले इनोसेन्ट च्याप्यो हाम्रो यस्तो सेकिसको हेल्थ कति छ सेकिसको सेकिस फर्किरा रहेछ त्यहाँ कक्रोच हान्दैछ सेकिस
Honestly, when it was just Cram
setting it यार लोडेले कस्तो हान्दिएको
anything just yet, but he found 2 members, and I think that was the perfect opportunity to at least try and set something up. Okay, so now
look,
you saw it coming.
लिलियाले यार अल्टी चलाउन पाएन यार यो जस्तो बोर त केही हुँदैन भने लिलियाले अल्टी चलाउन नपाइकन मर्दाखेरि यस्तो रिस उठ्छ नि मलाई थाहा छ के त्यो मातुरी छैन युमसँग कस्तो न्यु खोजेको घाँसमै युरेनस त्यहाँ पोज दिएर बसिरहेको लडको हेल्थ भन्छ नि पछि युरेनसको हेल्थ हेरे होला हो चेप्नु पर्यो हिजुमेलाई ल सिकिसलाई हान्दियो भने सिकाइस यार जोइ उनीहरूको हाइपर गयो यार एसआरजीको हाइपर छैन नि
he just flew out of the entire team fight just when we thought he could have been the first to fall. Now that's 2 consecutive crucial members of SRG going down.
It's the team fights just are
कति
not
सेकेन्ड
going the
बाँकी
way of
15
SRG
सेकेन्ड
right
बाँकी
now. And I feel
सेकिसम्मलाई
like
यार यिनीहरूले
they
लर्ड
really
रेसेड
lost
हान्नै
grip of
पर्छ
this game
गाइड्स
just in a couple minutes.
लर्ड रेसेड हान्नु
They
पर्छ
still control. They can still win a fight without.
ओए कत्रो ड्यामेज हाने गयो इनोसेन्ट लोडे लोडे ओए लोडे बज्यो लभली लभली लिले फार्सले च्याप्दियो गेडै माथि यत्रो फुटाएर च्याप्दियो है लभली यो निनो मुजी रुबी कति चल्यो तर फार्सा यार हाम्रो जोइ नै थिएन के त्यहाँ भर्खर आउँदै थियो लड हान्दियो तर किल रुबी गयो दुईजना गयो तीनजना गयो हिलोस गयो तीनजना छैन यिनीहरूको पुस हान्ने मातुरी तीनजना छैन है तीनजना लभली लर्ड सर्ट मतलब छैन मातुरी लभली लभली फनीलाई चेप चिकन त्यसको डोरीले तानेर मुजी गाँडमा छिराइदियो मातुरी
So still, I'd say it's
टिएलपिएसको रिकल यार कोही दिएन यार मलाई यार टिएलपिएसको रिकल यार
and win that objective despite them not being successful enough in taking out Innocent, because I think that's where we get to see
तर फाइनल लभली चलाउने यार याजुकीको फाइनल दामी है अस्ति पनि दामी हान्दै थियो यार ओनिकसँग पर्दाखेरि आम्मामामा
and even then SRG
किबोयले हिलकट लिएको थियो
but Alter
चुटेको
Ego
चुटे
successful with the Lord at least, but this might not, or they might not get
परे न
much
सफिल
out of it, considering the way that the map is looking right now.
Okay, right now they're looking for a potential kill. Nino might have
Come
gone
on.
for pull, doesn't go for it. They maintain the tier 2 turret there up top. But
तर म जति
SRG
लिलिया खेल्न नसक्ने यार यिनीहरू
as well.
जसले लिए पनि म जति चाहिँ लेभल छैन है
Can you go
पायरको
ahead and just get reset here? So it's back to it. They built themselves a bit of a lead.
ब्रुट फोर्स कसले बना फ्यानीले
They've got
ओके
pretty good at durability
फ्यानीको
on this
बेड
lineup.
अफ
The same can be
हेप्टेसिस
said
अनि
for Alter
बन्दुक
Ego
म्यालेफिक
esports,
गन
though, and that's where
म्यालेफिक
again
के हो
now
त्यो
you're
रोर
this
होला
portion
होइन
of the
त्यो
game where it's like, all right,
पिस्तोल होला
gold
म्यालेफिक रोर
laners.
होला त्यसमा म्यालेफिक
It's
रोर
different,
अनि
right?
के थियो
When you don't have to
हेप्टेसिस
find
होइन
your gold lane,
हेप्टेसिस
it's
अनि
like
ब्रुट फोर्स
you now
भन्छ
have this range accessible to the teams here. You can see that again. Itemization is nearly
लिलिया त के मेरो बिल्ड गइरा रहेछ ठिक छ ठिक छ
but the damage that he's able to pump
एमलेम
out
चाहिँ भएन है
is what
लिलियाको
is a
अलि
huge threat in comparison for Arfi. You know, again,
Lovely,
he hasn't
lovely.
built up a ton of stacks or anything.
त्यो लर्ड बिकज त्यहाँ चाहिँ लर्ड हेर्नु न लर्ड त मलाई मतलबै भएन कि अघिको के त उनीहरूले खाएको थियो तीनजना खायो नि त होइन त्यो हो नि त पारा
Arfi's, or one of
लर्ड यार
Arfi's
एसआरजीले सिकेर हान्न पाएको भए चाहिँ अझ लभली
saw
हुन्थ्यो
it
है
once, or when he was able to get his hands on this, did a phenomenal performance, and now he's not as behind. You saw that outplay he was able to accomplish against Sekais earlier too, and now with a magic blade at
Wait, what's real though? Uranus, what? Uranus बच्यो फ्लिकर हानेर बच्यो स्टोर मी लिलिया के अल्टी हान्यो लिलियाले अल्टी हानेर बच्यो है लभली लभली लभली
A lot of battle spells were used from Alter Ego. I didn't know if they
अल्टी
tried to go
कसको
ahead
युज
and go
भयो
for I'm offended.
ए तपाईको हिलोसको मात्र युज भएर चाहिँ फार्साको आयो भने अल्टी ए बाबा कति अल्टी आउँछ फार्साको लाम सबको अल्टी छ उताबाट अब त फार्साको बाइक यताबाट पनि लिलिया र युरेनसको मात्र रहेन छ अल्टी लिलियाको आयो अल्टी
not entirely the opposite lane though. They are yet to take away that tier 1 up top.
त्यही भने दाइ लर्ड हानेको भए त अघि लभली हुन्छ लभली त्यो बेस्ट टरेटहरू पनि खान भ्याउँथ्यो होला अघि लर्ड हानेर त्यो तीनजना किल हाने भए
I love Crab. He's just like, I'm gonna pop the concentrate. I'm gonna do my thing. I have an eye on Yasuke. Lord is up. And
ओइ त्यो जोइटिङले के गर्दैछ हाम्रो सेकिसले लर्ड खायो लर्ड खायो लर्ड लभली लभली
from start to finish
हो
up
नि
to this
क्र्यामको
point.
रोटेसन बबाल छ है
And he's
क्र्यामको
providing
रोटेसन
so much
बबाल छ
information. It's such a front line for SRG. So with that, they get themselves an easy lure.
युम्स ओइ युम्स माथुरी फ्लिकर हनाइदियो हो युम्सको फ्लिकर छैन युम्ससँग अब
With this Lord, I don't think Alter Ego's going down just yet as long as they don't
लड
make
आउँदैछ
big
केटा हो
mistakes.
तिनीहरूले क्रिप लिएर आएको हेर न साइड साइडबाट पनि क्रिप आइसक्यो भने टाइममै लामो
Careful too. There's a flicker.
लड भन्दा त मुझे युरेनस बलियो होला भने
Brewing if ever they get
के हुँदैछ कोसँग टिकट छ हामीसँग 500 अल्टी छ एसआरजीमा यता 4 जनाको अल्टी छ है फार्साको बाइक फार्साले त देखो दियो भने अल्टी आक्वाइ पनि गर्छ फास्ट कुल डाउनै हुन्छ है
making themselves available or within reach.
Again, this is a very difficult lineup to just force yourself into the base, right? They've got great,
lovely
they
lovely
got
lovely
crowd control, they got
Alter
great
Egoले
players,
lovely
especially
डिफेन्ड
from
हान्यो है
Barca.
लड
I mean, Yasuke can help clear as well, and then Arfi just sitting in the
हेड
back.
चाहिँ फेरि
Got a
दुबईलाई
road goal
छैन
now.
हैन
A little bit of defense.
तर यो
Picked up
एक गेम
C
चाहिँ
on
एसआरजी
Albert
जितोस्
too.
अनि
Alec,
2-2 होस् र फाइनल जसरी होस्
went
कि
ready and armor, got
बेस्ट अफ 5
penalized,
को
chastised Paul
त्यो
George
चाहिँ हेर्न मन लाग्यो हो त्यसरी
defensively.
एसआरजी
They are
जितोस् यो
able
म्याच
to go ahead
एउटा
and fight. And I think too,
अनि
again,
युम्सको
Eno
चाउ हेरौँ न
hitting
यार
goal
क्या
conditions
यार
the course
युम्स
of that,
यार
so they
मोटे
can
भाइ यार
actually defend the base, probably even another Lord, and that's why SRG
ड्यामेज
wants to take
पुगिरहेको
the
छैन
discipline
त्यही
route.
त्यही होला
They
होला
can't overstep, even though they have this advantage. If they get punished,
मैले बिल्डै
there's
भन्नलाई
potential
ठ्याक्क
for
बिल्डै
things
आयो
to turn in favor of Alter Ego Esports. So it's better if
युरेनस
SRG
फुल
takes
ट्याङ्क
this
छ
lead
हाम्रो
that they
हिल्ला
have,
पनि ट्याङ्कै
and
गएको
they
छ नि
just
त
go
हैन
with the fundamentals, right? Wait for that
कन्सन्ट्रेटेड
load to come up.
इनर्जी
If they try to make a, if
ओके
they try to make a response or a
डिभाइनले
concealed
लिलियाले
play,
बनाएछ
which is most likely going to come from
ओके
Alter
ओके
Ego Esports, then
आइटम के
it
गरेको
gives them
लडुले
that
भर्खर
advantage
यताबाट
to
उता
stay alive. Because these
छ्याप
feather
छ्याप
airstrikes,
गरेर देखाएको थिएँ
you
मैले
see it takes Innocent down to half. So they really have to be careful how they approach it.
It's also looking like a
गोल्ड त 4000 को रहेछ है डिफरेन्स
as his
एसआरजी को
last
4000
item. So
बेसी
there
छ
could be a lot more opportunities to
घट्दै
make
छ तर
out
घट्दै
resources
घट्दै
for Alter
4.0
Ego
भएर
or
फेरि
to stand
4.1
there and
भएको
throw
छ
out the
है
electrifying
लप्स
beats while everyone just scrambles to keep
ओइ 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 ओइ
themselves
युम्स
safe
युम्स
from
र
the damage
निनोको
that they
पर्यो
could
निनो
have
निनो
throughout.
रुबीले तान्दियो अल्टी हान्दियो है रुबीको नो अल्ट रुबी नो अल्ट
Purple buff is up.
ग्रेन्जरले पनि सिक्नु छ त्यहाँ पार्सलले नि अल्टी हान्यो यता एसआरजी को बाट युरेनसको मात्र अल्टी छैन सबैको अल्टी छ है ब्लुकले खायो त ब्लुकले खायो हेलो
Very anticlimactic.
खै ब्लुकले खायो फेनी खै फेनी त थिएन ब्लु त यतैबाट जोइटिङले खायो होला हाम्रो जोइले खायो होला
With a Fanny on your composition, you know that there's going to be pressure for the purple. If you can't get it, well, here's a fight.
युम्स युम्स च्याप च्याप हिलोसको च्यापमा हिलोसले फ्लिकर हान्यो त्यो फ्लिकर होइन नि हिलोस त साँच्ची कहाँ ओइ रुबी रुबीले ल जोइ खाइदियो सेकिसले सेकिदियो ओ युरेनस गयो भने ल लडायो ठ्याक्कै लडायो जोइ छैन युरेनस छैन
Find a moment.
भ्याउला त भ्याउला त भ्याउला त भ्याउँदैन अह फार्सा आइसक्यो नो फार्सा आएपछि त फ्यानी त केबल हानेर सुई 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 भने फेरि
I thought for sure he was gone. Call that an athletic flicker, by the way. Every time we see that, that is
नो यसरी नआरौँ यार
He just repurchased. I think he flipped one of his items. I think he buys Rose Gold.
सेकिस हेर नि त्यहाँ अहिले विन्डो साउन्ड बनाएर बसिरहेको छ कि लामो
This should be a good lord for Alter
ला ला ला
Wow, a team fight that was started up by SRG. Like I was saying before the Lord broke out, they had them sandwiched in, and Alter Ego responded.
Yeah.
And that's just
बाजी पल्टिरहेछ हो
And on top of that, I feel like, okay, that's...
Can we respect the fact that Arfi sold Skypiercer, just rebought it again?
That's how it's...
Got boots. He has no boots now. That sidestep.
It was again. There was a bit of help from the Glorious Pathway too, and of course
कति मिनेट भयो 20 मिनेट यो लड त मुजी बाहुबली लड हो नि यो त फेरि च्युन राजखाको लड हो यो त मातुरी यो चाहिँ हामी नर्मल भ्यूमा आइपुग्यो हामी खेल्दाखेरि पनि यही वाला ठ्याक्क हुन्छ नि के त यति नै ठ्याक्क क्यामेरा खै हामी पाँचजनै छौँ नि होइन ल अब यहाँ डिसाइड हुन्छ है गाइज यहाँ डिसाइड हुन्छ यहाँ मुझे एसआरजीले हग्यो भने चाहिँ सिध्यो अल्टर इगोले चाहिँ हगेर पनि सिधिँदैन कि फेरि त्यस्तो हो होइन तिनीहरूलाई एडभान्टेज छ एसआरजीले हग्नै भएन यहाँ हग्नै मिल्दैन ल होइन भने युरेनस होइन होला ओइ युरेनस छैन भने अब कसले छिक्छ त्यहाँ मुझी कसले ड्यामेज खान्छ मातुरी
Alter Ego breaking through and the damage is just...
Wait, no, beast hannen nodini. Shake, man, chicken.
Heejumay in the backside. The Lord is
Lilia,
off the bench.
Lilia did.
Arfi looking for another target.
Yums.
Arfi's down though, shut down from Heejumay. They can't quite break through.
माथिबाट नि क्रिप आउँदैछ मिडबाट नि क्रिप आउँदैछ तलबाट नि क्रिप आउँदैछ मातुरी मिची 20 सेकेन्ड कति सेकेन्ड बाँकी हो हेलो बचाउनु नभ्याउला क्या हो सेकिस ओइ सेकिसले पेल्दियो गाँड हान्दियो सेकिसको गाँड हान्दियो इनोसेन्ट एक्लै क्र्याम ओइ मर्यो भने इनोसेन्ट सिद्धो भने लामो नै भने नै क्र्याम पनि डिडी Sido! Winning moment! Alter Ego! Mother... ठिक छ जिजी
on Alter Ego as they take
फेरि Alter Ego final
Indonesia with them to the M7 Grand Finals.
ए सेमी ग्रान्ड
First the Titans and then the Giants. And now they face against the Lights in the grand final.
ल हामी FIFA सेक्सन बिगाइ
Despite
Lovely.
them
Gigi.
initially being
हैन के लास्टमा
labeled as maybe a bit too unorthodox in terms of their
त्यो मुजी
approach,
लड अगाडि नै लामो यो युरानस र सिकिस
time
उडेकै मान्छे त्यहाँ हो कि
that it actually is their strength
त्यहाँ
here
गाह्रो
in
भयो
M7.
What a series, man. You gotta think. Back-to-back
लभली
series.
लभली अल्डरिगो लभली है
9 games.
जित्या हो नि अल्डरिगोले तर जे भने पनि यार रेस्पेक्ट डिजर्भ गर्छ है माधुरी अल्डरिगोले रेस्पेक्ट डिजर्भ गर्छ लामो आज मुजी टिएलपिएच र लामो एसआरजीलाई हराइदिएको हो रन्न मुजी कोही छ माइकल लाल त्यस्तो अल्डरिगो लभली
When this event started, nobody's eyes were on Alter Ego. Nobody thought it was SRG, it was TLPH.
लभली
It was
लभली
this
लभली
team or that
ओके
team.
विगत एकैछिन
Alter Ego defy it all. They defied a whole lot of naysayers, but there's also a nation behind
कस्तो
them now.
च्यापेको के यिनीहरूले लामो यहाँनिर
And you know they're going to be
Maturi.
cheering just as loud. You saw the watch party out there towards the end.
क्रेम
They are going to
क्रेम
be
यदि
out here
बेसमा बसेर क्रिप हानेर कस्तो हुन्थ्यो होला यो टाइममा त्यसरी यहाँ यो कि बेसबाट निस्केर हान्नु भन्दा पनि अझ त्यो बेसको लाइन के त्यो एउटा रेन्ज हुन्छ नि त्यो रेन्जमा चाहिँ हान्नु पर्ने जस्तो लाग्दैन
the meta along the way here for the M7 World
क्रेम
Championship.
त्यहाँ आएर पनि मुजी पिटाइ खाएमा जस्तो पनि भयो कि एकैचोटि अब मुजी 4-5 जनाले पिटेपछि त मुजी जसले पनि पिटाइ खाइहाल्छ नि मुजी होइन लामो
Has showed us so much.
तर होइन यार यो टुटुमा गएको भए मजा त आउँथ्यो अल्डरिगो रेस्पेक्ट है अल्डरिगो चाहिँ रेस्पेक्ट मदरफकर चिकन
In the grand
Nino.
finals, we're going to throw it over on
Nino.
stage for our winning interview.
मेरो आम्मामा लभली ए भएन युम्सको चाउ हेर्न पाएन कि सबसे झुर चाहिँ लामो त्यो जित्या अरे हामीलाई मतलब छैन हामी त टिएल थियो तर युम्सको चाउ हेर्न पाएन हो लामो
Thank you once again, Selangor Red Giants from Malaysia, for your journey until this point.
रेस्पेक्ट है टेक्लो भाइहरू टेक्लो भाइहरूलाई रेस्पेक्ट छ
Grand Finals, Alter Ego
अन्ने सक्छ
Congratulations, boys. I'm seeing the condition of the players right now, and it looks like some of them actually have tears in their eyes. And
फाइनल आज हग्ने होइन नि फेरि
so we'll try to make this quick. Now, Nino, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Now,
Advances to the M7 World Championship Grand Final. होइन सक्छ लामो
selama ini Nino udah ngejalanin banyak hal ya, udah ngelewatin banyak hal juga dari MPL, season. Sekarang kamu bisa masuk M Series dan bahkan sekarang
म फेरि यहाँ है भोइस ओभर हानिदिन्छु है
Jujur,
अब भोइस ओभर हान्छु
sih bakal sejauh ini.
अब के भन्ने अब हामीले सोचेकै थिएन अब आज खास त टिएलपिएसँगै हार्नै पर्ने जस्तो त लाग्छ तर खै के भयो अब लक साथमा थियो भन्ने कि अब गेम भन्ने है ठिकै छ अब जिति त हाल्यो अब के गर्ने है हान्दियो अब ल ठिक छ
After so many years, he felt like he failed and he failed and he failed. And now everything that has happened so far, it feels like a dream.
Oh my God, I only can imagine 9 intense matches for 2 days for Alter Ego. It was just so amazing. Hijume?
हिजोमे
Hijume?
अब के भन्ने भनौँ माइक चलिरहेछ नि के सोध्न क्वेसन क्वेसनै सुनेको छैन त
How did the team prepare for this long day? What was the mentality coming into this fight?
अब के भन्ने मेन्टालिटी सेन्टालिटी त त्यस्तै नै हो अब धेरै राति नसुक्दिनु धेरै भएर डन्डीफोरहरू पनि आइरहेछ गेममै फोकस अब मेन कुरा चाहिँ अब त्यो हाम्रो गाउँ दाइ छ गाउँ दाइको लाइभ हेर्छु कि राति अनि त्यही हेरेर म मिड चाहिँ खेल्न सिक्या हो है अब गाउँ दाइ भएपछि त टुक्क अनि के लाग्छ तिमीहरूलाई चिन्छन् तिमीहरूले है गाउँ दाइ ल
Is already prepared before the matches, in game and everything, and he want to say thank you for all the supporters that always support Alter Ego.
Wow. The mentality that these kids have right now up on stage. Thank you, Hijome. RP now. Hello, RP. RP, everyone is saying now that you cannot spell Freya without RP. Why are you so good at this hero?
ओइ मेरो भोइस ओभर कस्तो छ गाइस रेड हार्न मेरो भोइस ओभर आरपी गाउँमा भन्छु फ्रेयामा स्पेल गर्न मिल्दैन अब के भने त्यस्तो त अब मैले पनि सोचेको थिएन फ्रेया खेल्छु है अब त्यो के भन्ने अब ठिकै छ अब के भन्छ फ्रेयामा अब त्यो एउटा मेरो नाम हाल्यो भने चाहिँ फ्रेया बन्छ त्यो मिल्छ ठिक छ ल तर मैले जोतमा हाने खै त बोल्दैन त ल के भन्दैछ
Were you surprised that the Freya was left open for you to utilize over and over again?
मलाई त्यही फर्स्ट गेममै मैले फ्रेयाले धोबी हानेको हो त मुजीहरूलाई तर पनि मुजी सेकेन्ड गेममा बिहान हान्थेँ नि त लामोहरू अनि के गर्नु म नलिनु अनि लिएर म हानिदिइहाल्छु नि त्यो मुजीहरूलाई लामो लास्टमा चाहिँ याजुकी अघि त्यसको आम्बो आएको थियो नि त अब म अर्को रिप्लाई याजुकी अब ए खै क्वेसनै सुन्न पाएन
Support from your parents.
Today, support from your parents. Today they are here, right?
The support for you. What does this moment means for you?
This one voice over हानेछ है guys. अब आम्बो त आएर त म राम्रो खेले मुसी हारे भए त लामो धोबी हान्थ्यो हो घर गएर मुसी त्यत्रो आश गरेको छ मुसी बाउले त मुसी पेटीले हाँस्छ हो मलाई लामो हार्यो भने त मुसी घरै नआइज भनेको छ लामो कुकुर खोरा सुताउँछु भनेको थियो मुसी हार्यो भने लामो अनि नजित्नु म
say thank you not only for the coaching
staff and also the family
that always give him a full support.
Lovely.
It's amazing because we got to talk to your parents earlier on. Tadi orang tua kamu datang loh untuk support kamu. Jadi mereka juga kelihatan senangnya ya dan sangat bangga banget.
Kayak voice over mah rate ana na laamo.
You've already made history.
Etro dukha गरेर voice over हान्दा यार गाइजहरु के हो भने के हो?
Time that Alter Ego was even close was M2, but they couldn't make it to top 2. So the fight is not over. Tomorrow you'll come back and face Aurora Gaming Philippines for the World Championship title. So could you help us to assure the thousands of Alter champs right now that there is a chance, there is an opportunity for Alter Ego to lift that trophy and bring it finally back home to Indonesia?
Thank you.
Bisa janjiin ke Alter Champ sih kita nggak.
Boleh question ni sunya na.
Pertama playoff lah. Kita udah persiapin semuanya.
Kayak maliain, sorry. Mau question sunya nanda. Mau question sunya mau ini translate nanti.
He's prepared. He said that this is not the first time.
Respect, motherfucker. Hey, respect Alter Ego. Lovely जित्या आज है यतिको चाहिँ किनकि अब मैले फर्स्ट TL पेजसँग खेलेर अनि अहिले फेरि SRGसँग खेलेर यार चोटि जित्नु मैले एकै दिनमा त्यस्तो त यार बल हो नि
and get some rest and good luck for your grand final tomorrow. Now to find out what happened in the match before, we will throw it back to our
कति बजेर चाहिँ 9:30 भइरा रहेछ हामी अब FIFA हान्छौँ है गाइज हामी अब FIFA मा भेट्ने छौँ
I will say this now, I've been doing this for quite some time, not as long as you two, but this,
what we are witnessing from this team
is one of the greatest sports stories I have the honor to witness and to even be a part of, to call for. This Alter Ego team that we're seeing, their run is special. The rise of El Familia is nothing like we've ever seen. Wolf, you've been here since day one, and can you compare Alter Ego's rise to anything we've ever seen?
I think the might be the closest is like maybe Blacklist of M3 just because they also got to the lower bracket, but I had to go through the entire gauntlet. But it's different because at least for Blacklist, people are expecting them to win during that time.
What I'm saying, Alter Ego are
तर यसले अल्टर इगोलाई त मैले हैन पहिला पहिला पनि सपोर्ट गर्थे है म भन्नै पर्यो कसम
not just here in Indonesia, not just in Jakarta.
मैले अल्टर इगोलाई सपोर्ट गर्थे नि यार मलाई अल्टर इगो खतरा लाग्थ्यो यार
I'm sure there are a lot of fans watching all around the world saying, hey,
गेमले भन्दा पनि मैले फर्स्ट सपोर्ट गर्न थालेको अब त्यतिबेला मैले टिम सिमले थाहा त थिएन सिधै कुरा मलाई किन अल्टर इगो यसरी नै यो अहिले पनि भोट गर्ने आउँदैन यो टिएलपिएस के छ नि भोट गर्ने म त्यतिबेला अल्टर इगो हान्थे गाइस अल्टर इगो र रोरालाई पनि हाने हो मैले अरोरालाई है त्यतिबेला तर त्यतिबेला चाहिँ मलाई थाहा पनि थिएन हो मैले को हो भनेर तर अल्टर इगो चाहिँ अब कस्तो भने हामी पब्जीमा पनि छ नि त है त्यसरी चाहिँ मैले अल्टर इगोलाई पनि पहिला पनि सर्टिङ गर्थेँ तर भन्नै पर्यो म चाहिँ टिएललै हो है टिएलपिए चाहिँ हो हुन त अल्टर इगो ओके छ अस्ति पनि अब ओनिकसँग पर्दा नि अब साहिलहरू पनि थियो हामीसँगै नै थियो होइन त्यति बेला हामी सँगै थियो नाइट हान्ने थियो त्यति बेला हामी अल्टर इगो भन्ने
It's just so difficult for anyone to defeat you. They are now a scary team, and I gotta say, I think they are. They're not the optimist after so far at M7.
Lay the hammer down. Here's a spicy question for you. If this M7 World Championship has Alter Ego broken the code?
हो मलाई त हो जस्तो लाग्छ है त्यो अघि टिएलपिएसको फाइनल गेममा त मुजी गरेकै हो कि लामो थियो लामोहरू त्यो युरेनस मुजी जङ्गलमा हालेर तल्का मचाइदिया होइन त अनि लामो अति थियो हो
lower bracket run.
Just because of that.
Just because of that, and just because of how true to their identity they are. When you say Prime Blacks International, you don't expect them to team fight and to be aggressive. That's been something we've been hoping for up until they had to, break up and everything. Yeah. But this Alter Ego refuses to play anything less than the Alter Ego identity, and I love them for that. And the reason why I think they broke the code
MVP
is because
Lamo Ferry RP MVP
is going to be there to pick up whatever Coach Sticks and Zipper team need him to do. This is like a
lovely.
Oh, yo, I'm getting another throwback.
RP
Filipino sniper vibes.
Oh yeah.
RP को नाममा ई हाल्यो नि फ्रेया बन्छ अरे है गाइस.
Imagine having to play fighters.
त्यो आरपी त मुजी त्यो के त परेला सरेला काटेर आम्मामा के हो केटा त बा
Picking up Rose Gold Beater when it's
खलासी कट हानेर हाम्रो त खलासी दे हान्छ त्यसो कट.
But you also have to take note of the other good players in here. I have to really commend Yasuke on this Fanny. There was a time when I was restreaming his game.
They
played this Fanny and I was duly impressed with that, and now I'm even more impressed.
फारसा लामो फारसा त मुजी जतिखेर पनि लामो अल्टी चलाकको चलाइ मातुरी गीती हो
how much they trust each other, how synergized they are, and how much they trust. This Fanny, they were able to break through.
I haven't
सिकिसले ट्राई त गरे हो सिकिस बच्यो होला यहाँ बच्नु त बच्यो सिकिस सिकिस यहाँ बचेर यता आउँदा चाहिँ
this time around with Alter Ego. That's something that even peak Onyx ID
innocent यार
World Championship,
innocent
even I didn't see that from them. This is something
राम्रो innocent भएको भए चाहिँ अझै टिक्थ्यो है म्याच
of their representative in the grand finals. Their representatives in this World Championships are so fit to what the Indonesian identity and the play style
guys,
and the world loves them for it.
अब हामी FIFA सेक्सनमा FIFA मा आउन है लभली हामी जस्तो भिस्का बार्सा भिस्का कातलुना अंकर मेसी लगाइ त्यति है अब एकछिन हामी FIFA मा भेटौँ र एकछिन अनि